Troopers and grinders, welcome to SkateTank Tank, covering the craziest and cringiest in MMA news. And this week, troopers and grinders, we have quite the serving of scoops for you this time. A good balance, if you will. Lots of serious stuff, lots of silly stuff. MMA, the sport, MMA, the personal business and settling of affairs. We've even got politics involved at one point, troopers and grinders. No, don't click away, I swear to God. This is an MMA show. It is an MMA show, but unfortunately, every 4 years it branches into politics at some point. Hank the Tank has to cover it because the big boss man is involved. So I have to mention some things involving Dr. Egghead from or Robotnik from the Sonic franchise, and also Eggman from that one comic book series. And I forget which. I think it was Captain America. Yeah, he had the big I'll just call him Uncle Fester. Okay, Uncle Fester from the Addams Family is involved in politics this week, so I had to mention it this time, troopers and grinders. But I do have a lot of fantastic MMA stories for you this week. And let me set up my shit so that my parents don't kick my ass. God damn it! Yeah. Terrible. What have I done to deserve this? All right. I'm back. Sorry, guys. Did you miss me? How's my hair looking? Oh, let me check this shit. Nope. No Chill's hair is fucking gorgeous, by the way. What has he done to his hair to make it that so pretty? Anyway, my first bit of MMA news. Actually, I got 2 more minutes into my first story. I got to keep the people waiting. So, tell me, troopers and grinders, what's been going on for you these last couple of days? Very productive couple of days across the board. Very polarizing day. Lots of different reactions. But my polarizing reaction is that I actually enjoyed the UFC Edmonton card. That's what's so controversial about this week, troopers and grinders. I'm absolutely sure of it. But what do you guys think of UFC Edmonton, the Fight Night show? I think it was boring for the most part, but guys who are actual stars or who have potential as stars, most of those guys got to win, and girls as well. And so, in all honesty, I think it's a good thing. It's got to be a good thing, in my opinion. So I'm glad that a bunch of Canadian soys turned into Canadian chads. It's a very good, and we like that, folks, and we like that. It's a very good thing, folks. Lovely Canadian soy boys turned into Giga Chads, and we like that, right? I've been to Canada, and let me tell you, Justin Trudeau, hate the guy, love hockey. Been to a few games with him. He's got a great slap shot. He slapped my shot, that's for sure. I tell you that much, guys. He supported me full-throated. But, yeah. Lots of stuff happening this week, and including some stuff that I guarantee you, troopers and grinders, are not going to know about, because Hank the Tank always gets that drop on you. He's always got a surprise story announcement just when the world needs him most. I ain't vanishing like no damn avatar. I'm here with the news. And actually, you know what, guys? I'm going to check the news, because I always stay on my game. And who knows? Some random ass fucking video could pop up with some MMA news. Nope. The only one here is Hank the damn Tank. He got the news for you. Newsies! Hey, get your paper, ma'am. 10 cents. I'm gonna be a newspaper boy. You can tell the boss to stick it. I join the union. Oh, golly gee whiz. Conor McGregor, I'll see you at the top. Red panty night, baby. Woo! Yes, Conor McGregor just can't avoid a news story, can he? But it's the worst kind. This time, troopers and grinders. He's really gotten himself in trouble this time around. I don't know. He is going to find his way out of it. I think he is, because he is highly influential and a notable star. And so UFC is going to pay the bail every time. But this one's pretty serious, guys. If he gets found guilty for this one, might not ever see Conor fight again. Read all about it. Listen, I guess, yeah. Glue your eyes to the screen. Extra, free of charge. I mean, it's 10 cents, but that's basically free. Sinister spelling spree. Jon Jones is a gay man. So is Dana White. Sean Strickland cries a lot, and people cry about Sean Strickland a lot. And also fights got canceled, and also fights got announced as well. And then Nate Diaz is a 12-year-old in a 50 fucking year old's body. And also UFC is just can't get their shits together when it comes to organizing fights or whatever. Was she a midget too? Good point. Oh man, who was it? Yeah. I actually gotta check if it was a midget. You're right. That's a good point. Let me check. Because this might add to the story, Troopers and Grinders. If that was it was the midget, that's not a good thing. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't show her picture. Let me check. No, she's actually pretty tall. It wouldn't really work if she was tiny. That's a decent height, honestly. Yeah, she's actually pretty tall. Hey, what is going on in the granite? Yo, what's up, Hank? Hey, bro, my guys, my homies, my OGs, we love Hank the Tank, man. You make me laugh. I want to be a fucking stand-up comedian, Hank the Tank. This guy, I tells you, always makes me laugh. Very talented guy. Always nice seeing you in the granite. I will attend one of your streams very soon in the incoming future, baby. So look out, because Hank the Tank is here to provide some fucking laughs. That's right, Hank the Tank, dude. Hank the Tank, he's the dude. Stop by for like, young buck. Thank you. In the granite. Yes, sir. I'm going to be in your stream breaking down fucking Magni versus Protest. Yes, we're going to go through all those predictions. You ever try magic mushrooms? That shit's the bomb, man. Magic mushrooms. So, yeah. Magni versus Protest. I got it unlocked, baby. Thank you very much in the granite. Appreciate you, brother. But anyway, that was a pretty spot on impression, by the way. I do in the granite pretty good. My first bit of MMA news for all the troopers and grinders out there. Without further ado, Hank the Tank, the hate tank. That's right, I'm a hateful man. What can I say? I love my neighbor. I'm a very accepting of all people, except when it comes to MMA, in which case I want to rip your damn eyes out of your sockets and choke the life out of you. I tells you what. Give them concrete shoes, you know what I'm saying? Fucking hate tank. I got a lot of love in me, but there's the hate tends to flow through me, much like Emperor Palpatine told me that one time. Yes, goodbye, young Padawan. Let the hate flow through you. Yes, my liege. I'll do whatever you say. That's my impression of Ewan McGregor. I hate the sand. It's rough. It's coarse. It gets everywhere, man. And I love the princess, but she lied to me. Liar! How are you? I'm doing all right, Kobe. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm having a better day than yesterday. But honestly, I had a decent day yesterday. Worked as a poll worker for the entire day. Got to meet a lot of very friendly people. Actually did some very productive work for once in a very long time. And so made some moolah. And on top of it, I did my duty as a citizen of this country. So I'm proud of that. Do it! Just do it! Or no, this is the killer mannequin. Do it. All right. First news story. Let's get to it, for God's sake. Lots of wild stories involving Sean Strickland this week, but then again, is that even a surprise at this point? Song Yadong, in an interview with Helen Yi, did not like what Strickland was saying about Chinese people to Helen Yi during their interviews, stating that Sean Strickland was making a lot of claims about Chinese citizens and yet had probably never entered the country and didn't know what he was talking about. He said he respects Sean as a fighter, and he'd gladly show him around China to show him there are good and bad aspects of every country. Helen Yi must have felt a little relieved with his response, as she has to listen to him talk shit about her people all the time, but also conflicted since they are also good friends. Shimon, I'm going to tired to be a junket. I'm tired of your schemes. Tired of your dump. You make me want to sing. Shimon. Oh! Little peace, kid. Peace, kid. See you later in the granite, you gabagool, I tells you. Good old guy from Boston. And we like He hated what the fucking Warriors did to those Celtics, man. Ruined that fucking game. Went up to like fucking 20, 30 points on him, and then at the end of the day, got 5 points on him. Fucking Celtics. You do a great MJ. Well, I appreciate it, Kobe, and I always like our little conversations in the Discord, talking about Neverland Ranch, and all the little fun activities and climbing the tree together, And you have to wear your covering. Make sure, Kobe, you got to wear your covering over so that the media don't see you, man. Oh! It's good, Tata. Chamona. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look, it's Kobe, everybody. I have Kobe in my arms. Oh, no, I almost dropped him. My father, he produced this nose, man. Jesus Christ almighty. I'm going to hell, guys. I really am going to hell. Anyway, great thumbnail. Thank you very much, Seabass. I worked hard on it, so I'm glad that somebody appreciates my artistry. Even Gray Shirt 98 from is it 198? I'm pretty sure it's 198 from the MMA Guru's channel said that I had a great thumbnail game and that he really liked the look of our thumbnails. So 90% of those thumbnails are mine. So thank you very much. I love doing the thumbnails. It's one of my favorite parts of doing the job because just get to make thumbnails about what I think is funny. Anyway, yeah. So Sean Strickland has talked shit about Chinese people for a very long time. And now Song Yadong has watched some of those interviews and he's fucking pissed. And Helen Yi is secretly feeling a little giddy because she has to deal with Sean's bullshit all the time. And fans know all about that. Anyway, in other Strickland news, the female Drake of MMA, Nina Drama, always showing off her titties and her. Speaking of thumbnails, by the way, showing off her titties in all her videos to bring in fans, and she knows that most of them are 12 years old, and yet she still flashes her tits on her thumbnails. Female Drake of MMA, Nina Drama, filmed herself at a shooting range where she blew up a target with a machine gun. You want to play rough? Okay, say hello to my little friend. Maybe she was on coke at the time as well. Wouldn't put it past her. Much like her beef. Okay, yeah. Here comes the punchline, guys. She filmed herself at a shooting range where she blew up a target with a machine gun, much like her beef started with the MMA guru blew up in her face. Keep laughing at his fat jokes, Nina. Keep laughing at Sean's fat jokes. DDP also made a meme of Strickland crying. But what else is new? I mean, he does that all the time. Rematch confirmed maybe between them? I don't know, and I don't care. Well-deserved comment. They're great. Well, I'm glad that somebody appreciates them. I mean, that's the thing, man. Everybody thinks of a painting like a vertical canvas, but the truth is much like a horizontal canvas, a thumbnail. You got to make fine strokes and little bits of artistry and improvised ingenuity every now and again. And then once you put it all together, and by that I mean copy and paste some images and then put them in the right instead of the thumbnail. And then it is like the great works of, like I said before, Leonardo da Vinci and Matisse and Picasso, as well as Van Gogh, if you will. Right up there with the greats and Mr. Beast as well. Love the thumbnail. Thank you very much, Kobe Wiggle. I appreciate that. I seriously appreciate it, guys. But I'm going to leave 5 minutes for you guys to ramble on about what my news story was about, because I want to start some discourse about some stories that I'm making. So, Song Yadong is pissed off at Sean Strickland for hating on Chinese people in front of Helen Yi, the interviewer who is married to the Schmo, more popular interviewer. And Song Yadong has respect for the champ, but at the same time, he's calling him out for some of the comments that he's made. And I've watched some of his interviews, and I even though I love Sean, I can't blame Yadong, No Diddy, for making that comment. No Song. And then also, Nina Drama keeps doing bullshit with Sean. DDP doing bullshit with Sean. You know, everybody has something to say about Sean Strickland, for better or worse, much like the man who is going to be slated to be in office in a couple months. God help us all. Anyway, Sean Strickland must be having a lot of fun right now. And honestly, I don't blame him. This must be Christmas come early for Sean Strickland. I'm gonna fucking build that wall. I'm gonna fucking build it for you guys. Let's fucking go. No man who beats off to cartoons is gonna beat me. But what do you think about more controversy involving the ever memorable Sean Strickland? And how do you think he fares in a fight with Ricky Stupusi? By the way, guys, SkateTank MMA logo rather than StreamYard. Check it out, fellas. That's us, SkateTank MMA. Oh, yeah. We can afford to change that stupid looking duck with the headset on top. We are in action, baby. This is Kobe Wiggles' thoughts on the story that I just shared for you guys. Cookie Monster! C is for cookie, and that's okay with me. Oh, cookie starts with C. Oh, and you see, Cookie Monster, when I'm angry, I have the frowny face with the eyebrows. You're making me mad. You dumb, stupid monster. How can you eat that sign? You're the most ugly looking, stupid, blue, hairy, yellow, bellied coward I've ever seen. Stupid monster. Ooh, Cookie Monster sad. Anyway, God, I could go on and on about fucking Sesame Street. Again, no Michael Jackson. Let's get to my next bit of MMA news, shall we? It's a tough crowd, man. Shit, you gotta do a homie like this? I thought that Hey Girl would have something to say. Okay, she's here. I get where Song is coming from. And Song is definitely coming from a righteous place. Sean Strickland, he always takes it a little bit too far. Now, I gotta say this. Him and Helen Yee, they are good friends, believe it or not. I mean, during the same interview where he says a bunch of crazy stuff about China and its people, he says that he wanted himself and Helen Yee to do a swimming competition together and hang out. And obviously, he's had Helen Yee interview him several times. So, what I see with Sean Strickland is that he is intolerant, and this is a lot like certain alt-right friends that I associate with here in the MMA community and hang out with. They don't mean it on a personal basis. Like, if they're with them individually, like, they're very cordial towards them. And, once they see them for more than the stereotype, they're good friends. But then beyond the individual they just don't like certain demographics of people. But individually, they are a nice guy to pretty much everybody. So it's a strange dichotomy. Aren't humans strange, guys, where we can have this broad viewpoint towards, like, whole populations and whole countries and whole everything, and then when there's someone that's actually from that country, you can easily get along with them. Isn't that sort of crazy? But Sean has some takes that are out there for years. That is true. Ever since 2018, 2019, man's off the fucking cuff his entire life, 24/7, man. Can't entirely blame him for it. He never says that he's anything else. I mean, a lot of people are calling him a Karen and liberal, secret liberal, but I don't think that Sean has changed in his beliefs too much. I honestly think that fans have shifted their narrative towards him because they're pissed that he didn't have a number one contenders fight with Whitaker, and then cried, during his little scuffle with Dricus du Plessis. Man, I think that Sean is going to Sean. Maybe there's a little bit of a bitchy side to him that's developed as of late, but I think it's tame, small. Like, it's the same fucking Sean Strickland, man. It's hard to fucking hardwire that brain of his to be any different, Yeah, I agree with that take. With that being said, let's get to Hank the Tank's next bit of MMA news. Nate Diaz continues to prove that he has the mind of an immature troublemaker, coercing a fan who just wanted him to sign some UFC gloves into play fighting with him on the sidewalk. And when have we heard this before? Probably multiple times. Taking the fight down to the concrete and finishing him with some ground and pound. I swear one of these days, a guy he starts fighting with, whether it's play fighting or not, is going to bounce his head off the concrete. Except this time he isn't going to be waking up. He's going to be in a fucking coma and then pass away in the hospital. He knows he'd get his ass kicked by Brendan Schaub, Nate Diaz. So instead, he's letting out all his pent-up energy and copium on some random-ass fans. One of these days, this guy's going to end up like BJ Penn if he keeps his childish shit up. So Nate Diaz is once again playing rough with random passersby. I mean, he even has to have a grappling match and a big fight with the fan who just wants him to sign some fucking gloves. Now, to be fair, you know, what he's doing for the fan could be conceived as like a positive thing, and oh, they're just having fun. He's trying to have some fan live his dream. Oh man, I'm fighting Nate Diaz, but you're doing it on the street, and eventually you're taking the other guy down, and like, come on, man. Like, when is enough enough? Like, for people who have literally like been bouncers for security at clubs, you've started fucking fights with them, and some random bro, you just gotta shove him or put him in some fucking guillotine. It's just like even people that are cordial, you can't help but get fucking physical with, and it's fucking stupid. It really is stupid, man. Maybe I'm just giving a hard time because he has a history of this shit, and I know this is more tame, but like, it's just a smaller version of like an overarching problem that Nate Diaz just can't help. But he starts shit, dude, and eventually someone's not going to get so lucky. It's like I'd almost compare it to the feud, and this may sound corny. It's coming from my educational past. This reminds me of the feud between the Soaks and the Greasers from The Outsiders, where it's like, oh yeah, they have their little rivalry and they start shit when they need to, different classes, anger, hate. But then one of these days, you're gonna have a fight that's gonna go too far, and somebody's gonna be fucking dead, just like the fucking Crips and Bloods. So it's just a matter of how are we gonna de-escalate this shit. You're a grown man. You're in your 30s. M.A. Guru said it. I will say that I'm referencing it or relaying his great point. Nate Diaz is a father of two. He's fucking old ass man, okay? He's won a boxing fight against Jorge Masvidal. So what? He's a combat sports athlete, but George St. Pierre is twice the fucking man that him and his brother Nick are. And you're still getting into fucking fights when you're old ass, almost 40 years old. It's just cringe, dude. Cringiest in MMA news, but at the same time, it's just stupid, man. And one of these days, you're gonna have a case where you're gonna start getting charged for this shit. I swear. Color me shocked. Yeah, I like Diaz, but use your brain a little. People love to sue. Exactly. And if you mess with the wrong hey, he's starting shit with Jake Paul's buddies. You know how much money Jake Paul can fucking sue you? Ask Dylan Dennis what happened when he started to just promote a fight with Logan Paul's fucking girlfriend. You know what happened there? Still dealing with the legal consequences. He also feels disrespected easily, and that rough housing can escalate with him. Yeah, exactly. And it just makes you wonder how much of it is just him growing up in Stockton and like, oh, you're my brother Nick. He got me through the push the other side. Used to be morally bad. Playing touch button pie. And then went from there. I mean, if Nate Diaz was just, I have to use the bathroom. Hold on. I need to use the bathroom. God damn it. If he was just doing that stuff, oh, hey, that's funny. Oh, that's Nate Diaz stuff. But always takes it a little bit too far. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Nate anymore. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of his either. I feel like he's just doing some shit that he shouldn't be doing or getting away with at his age. And just cringe every single time, man. Like, just sign the fans' fucking gloves, okay? Why do we have to turn this into... Even Conor, who's part of a serious fucking case, is just doing shit for fans and being cordial. Even he's nicer than fucking Nate is. He's a skinny little bully who embarrassed us against Jake Paul. Mike Perry, unfortunately, embarrassed us as well against Jake Paul. But Mike Perry doesn't do half the shit that Nate Diaz does. Remember how pissed he got with Caro on Tough when they were messing around? That's right, yes. And it got into a huge altercation. Nick Diaz taking on shit. Hey, what up, man? Hey, Tyrone 9, want to mess with Nate Diaz Army? Yeah, it's stupid. Shane Carwin is a grown genius IQ level man who can't tie his shoes anymore, and Nate laughs about it. Yeah. Shane Carwin is a grown genius IQ level man who can't tie his shoes anymore. Nate laughs. Yeah, because he's just petty. He has his little petty rivalry with Brendan Schaub, and so he'll basically say anything at this rate to just tick Schaub off. And if Shane Carwin has to show up in the line of fire in order to do it, there's no low that Nate won't stoop to. And it's just that lost me a lot of respect for Nate Diaz when he's including UFC fucking legend Shane Carwin into a silly fucking beef. CTE is coming for Nate too. It's already here. It's been here from the start. It's just whether or not it's going to escalate. Whether he'll be in the fucking old people's home with dementia. What a dick. Yeah, he's becoming more of a dick recently. Another thing that sort of pisses me off about Nate is when his guys, like, he doesn't even have to be there, but he has, like, the fighter's mentality where he has to have some sort of gang shit, and his crew are just starting fights with people randomly on the street. He doesn't even have to be there. It's like Voldemort's fucking army. You know, the Dark Lord doesn't even have to be there. And his guys are starting shit all over the place and getting into scraps. And I get it. Oh, you know, it ramps up the tension going into boxing. But again, you know, it's like you could tie that to Nate. If one of your guys who's like on his orders went to this spot or so gets into this fight and somebody ends up having their head bounced off the concrete, just like that one Jake Paul fan ended up having, you know, just really stupid. I didn't know about his response to Carwin to SMH. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. I'd actually recommend watching Brendan Schaub's response to Nate Diaz. I believe he has it on his own channel, and he fucking cooks Nate, dude. What are you gonna do, Nate? Volume punch me to death? Volume KO me? You know? And he's just like, yeah, and you got what, 2 kids, and you're still starting random shit with people in clubs and acting like a fucking 6-year-old. And you're gonna say that about Shane Carwin? You know what would happen, Nate, if your brother Nick ended up getting CTE or a brutal injury that was debilitating? He could never walk again, do this or that again. You know what I'd do? I'd say, I'm sorry for your situation. I would give you a shoulder to cry on because I'm not a dick who's just going to use any situation in order to get an advantage over somebody. Grow up and mature. I hate that weak ass bully. Gang shit his team does. Yeah, well, it's not just the team, it's him. And like, you know, they're very controversial. You know, either you love them or you hate them with the Diaz army and the Diaz brothers. More and more guys there are starting to become a fucking pain in the neck as they grow older. You know, it's like Matthew McConaughey said in Dazed and Confused. They get older, they stay the same. All right. Except in this case, it's not positive, not involving sex. It's involving PDF file shit. If we're being honest, that movie is that part of the movie didn't age great. But pedo bear. With here, their childish mentalities aren't changing at all, even though they're growing older and older. I mean, Nick's always more calm than Nate is, but both of them just have their baggage, you know. We all have our fucking baggage. That gives us no excuse to act like children. Nick Diaz already has CTE. Yeah, but like debilitating CTE. Like never going to be the same kind of CTE. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that wasn't such a great point from Brendan Schaub now that I think about it. But yeah, the point is, go watch Brendan Schaub's video about Nate. It's really good, and he absolutely cooks Nate, dude. Just expose him for the fucking idiot hypocrite that he is. So anyway, I'm going to go past that story. Minor story, and I already got a lot of people commenting on this shit. But let's get to the next bit. Viewer discretion advised. This is probably the most serious piece of MMA news that I'm going to give you guys. So viewer discretion. Conor McGregor is in court once again for prior actions. Him and an associate named James Lawrence have been accused by a 35-year-old woman of SAing, SEXUALSSASSAULT. Accused of that, SA, 6 years ago at a hotel in Dublin in a civil lawsuit. She had contacted McGregor, and he invited her and a friend to a penthouse suite at the Beacon Hotel, at one point picking up Lawrence. They all snorted cocaine before McGregor, which makes sense, before McGregor allegedly tried to persuade her to perform a sexual act and placed her in an arm lock until she relented. saying, "Now you know what it was like in the octagon when I went down 3 times." And that's sort of an interesting quote, and that's what's sort of the weird, or maybe not less believable part about the story. But I digress. It's graphic. She then went to an SA treatment clinic at the Rotunda Hospital, crying and in pain, according to the people who were treating her. A jury has been selected for the case already, which is expected to last 8 weeks. Of course, Coke is involved. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the freaking soda drink, man. I'm talking about white powder, booger sugar. Yeah. You got the money, you got the money, you got the power. You got the power, you got the drugs, you got the drugs, you got the woman. And this ain't Scarface, man. This is something nasty. Same fucking drug of choice of Jon Jones. That line is strange. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, McGregor is sort of a smooth talker, so even when he's doing something fucking monstrous, he might, throw out a one-liner or say something quick or witty because that's just what he likes to do. He likes to, play practical jokes and say stuff that he finds funny. But at the same time, like, you're doing something rotten like that, and at the same time you're talking about UFC losses or something, and you're doing something monstrous, but you're like talking about your career in the UFC at the same time. Like, I mean, he's petty enough to do it. Like, he did it with Jolie's wife with Dustin Poirier, but at the same time, like, I sort of find that quote hard to believe. But in terms of whether or not he'd do something like that, I could absolutely see him doing something like that. Anyway, continuing with the story. Not going to take either side in a legal case, in my opinion. But Conor sure seems to attract a lot of accusations and lawsuits, doesn't he? Honestly, the charges are worthy of a criminal lawsuit over a civil lawsuit. So it's weird that the victim made that decision instead. When it's civil and it's not criminal, like, I think is money being involved here? Is it more about, compensation than anything? And can he make money off of an accusation that isn't true, or is it that you're in a really bad state because of what happened before, which pushing on to now, and now you actually should get compensation for someone else's crimes towards you? Like, it's sort of it's a gray area there. Honestly, the charges are worthy of a criminal lawsuit over a civil lawsuit. It's weird the victim made that decision instead. Maybe she knows she'll fail in a criminal lawsuit and at the very least wants compensation, or perhaps compensation is the main goal, but we'll find out. It's just happened before, but you never know. Maybe Conor did it, maybe he didn't. I wouldn't put it past him given his past actions, but I guess it will all be decided with testimony and evidence in court. One thing I do know is that McGregor's never fighting again. Isha was always right. So we're never going to see McGregor in the cage. He's just too much trouble, doing too much shit outside of it. I'm interested in the court findings and the information that will come out in the lawsuit. You should pay close attention to it, hey girl, because the thing is, Conor McGregor, honestly, he might have as many lawsuits as fucking Trump at this point. The amount of crimes that he's been accused of, or the amount of like really violent altercations or sexual things. Pay attention to this case while it's happening, hey girl, because likely won't be the last, and a lot of like controversy around McGregor tends to cover up sort of big problems or the big stories regarding him. So pay close attention to this one. Jury has been decided, so he's going to be in court for the next month or so. But a lot of his cases get swept under the rug or given such little attention that most people end up not even seeing the results of the charges or the trials. So make sure to keep a lookout, because the trial is definitely underway. But yeah, I really don't think that Conor's coming back. I told Isha at some point, no, what, are you crazy? Like, they have to put together Conor and Chandler. And now Chandler's finding Oliveira, and McGregor's getting up there in age and dealing with fucking legal stuff and driving drunk and getting involved in motorcycle gang parties with midgets. So, at this point, really, guys, we shouldn't care about McGregor anymore. We're gonna keep talking about him because the shit he's being exposed to, of things he's being accused of, are pretty fucking serious. I'd talk about this if it were Jon Jones, and he's always gotten in trouble. So I have to, as part of knowing that he's one of the main people that the MMA community is focused on. But will he ever get his shit together? I don't know. And I don't want to be cruel, but at the same time, Devlin is sort of the one who's pushing that shit. She sees Conor McGregor around other women fucking pulling their hair and, making out with them or having lap dances. And Devlin's just into it. She's just allowing him to do this. And then like, hey, come in here for a case. Meh, 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 meh. And she's wanting to get the action. Open relationship shit is the fucking cringiest, scary, honestly, creepiest shit you can think of. The fact that she's allowing him to do this at parties and random places when they've got what? How many children? Like 8, 9 children? Like, I'd guarantee some of those ain't her own. I guarantee some of those children ain't Devlin's. So, like, Conor McGregor is fucking her over. I know that she probably wants the money. Probably wants to keep that fucking money to herself because otherwise Conor McGregor ain't going to give her a pot to piss in. They file the divorce papers, but at the same time, like, come on, you got to have standards. UNITY, listen to fucking Queen Latifah. If your man's fucking with you, you got to leave him. So, eventually she's got to grow up here and stop McGregor from acting crazy at all these parties. Otherwise, she's just as much to blame, in my opinion, for all the freaky stuff he does at all these different parties and shit. So I blame her and McGregor for having this fucking disgusting open relationship. They want to call Sean O'Malley a cuck and a freak. Look at McGregor, dude, and Ian Gary, Maybe he'll need a cash grab and just jump back in. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, UFC is obviously hoping that McGregor can get his shit together, that they could book the match really quickly or get Hooker in there, and then McGregor can just fight him, standing ovation, millions of pay-per-view buys. Oh, it sells out, and then we're all good. But it just seems like, and another thing is that the UFC tend to book McGregor well ahead of time, much like Jon Jones. It doesn't happen like on the fly, like in a month. Like we hear about, Jon Jones wanting to fight in November, 6 months away, 7 months away. Want to have all that hype and build up about your talents when you know that those talents can easily leave. You can easily pull out of fights when they're 6 months away, especially when they've got a date set well ahead of time. That's when the fighters are most likely to pull out. And you get them to sign for a fight in 2 months, 3 months, they're going to fucking be there to fight. So McGregor used to be the anywhere, any place, anytime kind of guy. And then he started to make his money. And now he just won't have any fight that's not 6 or 7 fucking months away. Even when he wants a short notice matchup, Dana's like, oh, no, we're not. We don't have anything prepared for Conor McGregor. No, the fight's out. I don't know what to tell you. The fight's being pushed. It seems like McGregor, even the UFC doesn't want the fight to happen because they're fucking pushing it back and back to build up hype and intrigue, and then it never ends up happening. Dumbass motherfuckers. Motorcycle gang parties with midgets. That line was hilarious. Sorry. Well, is it not true? That's the thing, Hank. They still aren't married. Engaged 4 years and counting. Leave them. You didn't even sign the contract of marriage. You probably don't even share any money. Take the kids and leave. That's your chance. Get the fuck out of there. Me and Dane are drunk. Yeah, you were, Dane was posting about it on the Invictus stream for the City Life project. Hope you guys are doing well. I know that Skatesman lost bets on free money, which is a shame. Again, I said in the chat that I was starting to gain hope that Skatesman would get back in the MMA betting world because he was starting to make a fucking steal with some of these picks for the UFC shows. But now that's out the window. Never bet again, Skatesman. Never bet again. Hello, casuals. How dare you call me a casual, man? Can't take this shit no more. Well, I'm drunk. Yeah. But Dane said he was drunk, man. Is Dane over his drunkenness, or is it just you now? Usually it's Dane who's drunk 24/7. I'm actually surprised to see degenerate Dane sober in an MMA chat room. Yes, I lost bets on free money. Well, at least it was free money. So you didn't pay for the money. It's just me. Fuck the big three. Hey, it's just big me. Boom. Kendrick, like that. That's a great diss track. I'm not high 24/7. Nice. Hit up that vape, baby, just like Skatesman. Put those puppies on the grill. Oh yeah. You're cool, man. Cool as ice. Take my advice. About to smoke an infused hash joint. Nice. Well, I'm sure that's legal in some countries, so and some states. So go ahead and see what happens. Just make sure that when the po-po is on you, when you're driving back home, you stash it away somewhere and make sure the police don't see it. You throw it out the window. You know what I'm saying, Degenerate Dane? Just make sure those damn pigs, those authoritarian hogs aren't on there. You know, weed is meant to be legal, man. But drugs are bad. Okay, they're so bad. Okay. Anyway, on to Hank the Tank's next big news story. If you guys want to hang out and listen to my next big tale, or I could give you a summary of what Hank the Tank has been reporting on so far if you want to hear it. Or you can just fucking bounce, because Hank the Tank's a casual man. Hank the Tank's going to crash out at any point now. It's best that you guys just leave the crazy old fool alone. Schizophrenic war veteran alone. Isn't it crazy that at one point, Skatesman, some guy actually believed that I was an old war veteran who was schizophrenic? It's like, what? You're not Hank the Tank? When I'm fucking in my early 20s, and he's like, what? You're not some veteran with half your head missing and an arm and a leg gone? Like, nope, I'm not a veteran. Just my character. Oh, God, I've been waiting for someone to ask me this since I started the channel. Can you do a Jiminy Glick impression, Hank? And why is a woman thinking about a girl? And that was the great My Fair Lady. Send you a copy. And Robert... Oh, wait, hold on. What was his name? Yes. Oh, man. Goddamn. The Scottish poet. I'm going to send you a series of emails and copies of people that you should know. I am sitting here with an absolute living legend. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Vanilla Ice. How wonderful it is to see you. So you're not Vanilla Ice. Well, I lost that bet. And then Suge Knight hung you out the window. And he said, I'm scared. I don't want to be Vanilla Ice anymore. I want to be Ice Cube. That's what I remember. I checked the tapes. These notes don't often lie. Often they do, but rarely. Anyway, I'm talking to my very special guest, Vanilla Cream Pie. How are you? Yes. And then, oh God. Yes. And there's another one. This is the question for you, Mr. Steven Spielberg. When are you going to do the big one? You know, something that clicks with the public. You need to make more because I think you're good. Steven, USC rejected. Must have stung. Fantastic impression. Thank you. First of all, because I'm a big fan of that guy. Your name is Ricky Gervais. When I think of Gervais, I think gingivitis. That's the only way that I'll remember it. Wonderful. Chef's kiss. Yeah, I fucking love Jiminy Glick. Glick's the fucking best. No. What's your big beef with the Nazis? What's my big beef? Oh, well, you know, it's because, it's time for Mel Brooks to knock the Nazis, it seems. Whatever you say, Mel. Whatever you say. Michael Jackson's normal. I'm just going to go with it. Anyway, my next big MMA news story for you. Oh, how wonderful it is for you to be you. Good old fucking Martin Short, dude. That man is going to live fucking forever. I want Martin Short to live until he's 100. God's sake. I probably scared Degenerate Dane and Skatesman off, which is for the best, troopers and grinders. Conor McGregor is in court once again. Oh, shit. I already said that story. Sorry. These notes rarely lie. Often they do, but rarely. There have been an insane amount of fight cancellations as of late for the UFC, with Nicholas Dalby pulling out of his fight with Alizu Zaleski dos Santos, Cody Garbrandt pulling out of his fight with Miles Johns for undisclosed reasons, Derek Lewis pulling out of his fight with Yonata Denise with zero explanation, and recently Tracy Cortez, of all people, who's usually Mrs. Reliable, pulling out of her fight with Miranda Maverick with an injury. Are these health scares, or is the UFC trying to rebook these notable names for bigger cards down the line? Time will tell, troopers and grinders. I wouldn't put it past them, and the fact that this has been an emerging trend these last couple weeks tells me there might be a glint of truth to my theory, especially with the kind of financial year the UFC's been having. Now there's a rumor that Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira's fight at UFC 309 is on the verge of being canceled, with Moicano, after drinking beer and eating steaks in Brazil, already offering to step in on short notice. Motherfucker, against Michael Chandler. However, it was revealed later on, and I'd like to thank Mr. Barter for giving me the information on the City Life Discord. That was not Renato Moicano in the Twitter who sent that message about wanting to step in on short notice. It was, in fact, a bot account. Some rando online. So the Renato Moicano tweet turned out to be a lie. The cake was a lie. And also, Charles Oliveira looked at a tweet that basically thought that the fight was canceled, and he was like, he did the emoji, the one that was, hold on, wait, no, there, ooh, wait a minute, hold on. Wait, it's like this, and then, nope, and I turn, which way? Turn that way, yes. He did that emoji, which tells me that Charles Oliveira is like, what? Who told you that? It's that kind of energy. And then good old Ariel Helwani, the nose, guys, the nose, said that I have talked to all sorts of sources near me, and all of them are telling me, Ariel, the fight's not over. I talked, in fact, to Mr. Mike Chandler's team, and they told me that the fight wasn't off, that the fight it was still on. And then with Charles Oliveira's team in Brazil, they told me, Ariel Helwani, I don't know what to say about the rumors. They're not true. The fight's still on. What do you think about this, New York Rick? I would believe the Renato Moicano Twitter account. It definitely seemed like an official page, and I chat with Moicano on his Discord all the time, man. That seems like a legit account. Thank you, New York Rick. You really added a new layer to this rumor, and what do you think about it, New York Frank? I mean, if your team's telling you that it's wrong, it's got to be wrong, and there's too many cancellations these days. They never lose the big main event, the co-main event, Charles and Chandler. Thank you, New York Frank. But that's it for the MMA News Hour with Ariel Helwani and the Ariel Helwani Show. But Ariel Helwani has dismissed the rumor. So for once, Ariel Helwani actually did his job as the greatest MMA journalist of all time. Anyway, the fact that Michael Chandler has still been posting on social media about the fight and Charles isn't, and this is an old opinion I had on the story, told me that Oliveira is probably the one who's injured himself again. And the reason why I had my suspicions about Charles Oliveira at the time was just because he had that, busted eyebrow right above during his UFC 294 matchup, right before his 294 matchup with Islam Makhachev, and he was able to do something that stupid right before he was supposed to fucking fly out to Abu Dhabi. And so I wouldn't put it past him to injure himself again in sparring and, have someone else step in on short notice last minute. He's done it before. And then I said in my notes, just stop doing hard sparring before your fights, you dumb UFC veteran. But now it seems like the rumor is dismissed. So I love you, Charles. Homeboy forever, man. Charles DuBronx. Gotta love the campeón who had the name the Charles Oliveira, brother. You know, big Charlie Olive stand for life, man. Big fan. Anyway, UFC 309 and 310 are looking fully cooked. So maybe Money Moicano can be a good band-aid to seal up the cut. At least he was until he took an arrow to the knee, and it ended up being his Twitter account wasn't even real, Troopers and Grinders. So that news story was for nothing. But here's my side tangent about Moicano. Moicano deserves to jump up the rankings after all the MMA journalists bullshit with the UFC's top 15 at lightweight. And maybe a future matchup with Patty isn't being pursued by the UFC. So this is the next best thing for Moicano, I said at the time. But maybe now they're just going to have him and Patty still fight each other. That's definitely the matchup to make. Him and Hooker, him and fucking anybody. Maybe Moicano versus a Hooker. That'd be pretty good. I'd watch that on OnlyFans. Moicano's OnlyFans. Anyway, he'd know that Charles Oliveira is injured as a friend of multiple MMA fighters in Brazil. God damn, my rumor is stupid. Word gets around in that camp. The last thing to take away from this rumor is that Michael Chandler now might never fight again. Just like McGregor will never fight again. He might still not fight again. I can't put it past Chandler. The guy's so fucking stupid and adamant on his matchups that, he gets a lot of karma for it. So that fight with Oliveira might still not even work out. McGregor will never fight again. Those two's matchup was fucking cursed them, just like Tony and Khabib. Crazy that both those matchups that never happened were set to take place at lightweight too. That whole division's a clogged up shit show at this point. Featherweights are the captain of these sheep now. There you go, Troopers and Grinders. A whole news story that I broke down for you that is for fucking nothing, guys. But it is true that there are a lot of cuts and a lot of cancellations and lots of fighters that are being dismissed for undisclosed reasons. He has an OnlyFans. Is it fight stuff / training? No, I'm making a joke here. I mean, I'll check if he has one. Yeah, and he's not a degenerate. No, he does not have an OnlyFans. Thank God, dude. Thank God. I know Brandon Moreno, of all people, has an OnlyFans, but his stuff is about fight stuff and training. So if you want to check out some fucking OnlyFans, you might as well watch Brandon Moreno's, I guess. Yeah, guy's a Lego loving dad, so can't be too bad. Anyway. Yeah, thank God Moicano doesn't have an OnlyFans. Otherwise, he'd be going against all of his fucking morals and principles. As Christian brother, I do not have sex, my brother. I abstain from sex in all forms of marriage, my brother. Evening, Tank, bro. How is it going? Pulse Reloaded. Good to see you, man. Happy to have you. Hey, make sure I'm going to be probably doing my fight companion for Magny versus Protas. Hank the Tank is back for more crash outs with Hank the Tank's fight companion for UFC cards. I'm like Eugene Behrman from the fucking City Kickboxing. Well, I'm going to be doing the fight companions, but you should join my post shows if I do indeed have a post, or Skatesman's post shows, because we are going to probably have a post show of some kind, or Hank the Tank's going to do his own post show after my fight companion for UFC. So hop in, man. We loved your cameo appearance on the post show after, I believe it was Joshua versus Dubois. Yeah, I believe so. So get your butt in there if you want to. We'd love to have another conversation with you. Oh, my bad. I was a little worried. I was too, just even thinking about it. What's up, guys? Hope y'all are good. Thank you so much, Antoine Willis. Always, and you could always hop into the post show as well. How y'all feel about the card this Saturday? I'm actually excited for it. Overall, I think there are a lot of underrated fighters on this card. Lots of underrated matchups as well. But it is sort of a problem, guys, that the card only has 12 fights. That is going to damper it a little bit. And at the same time, I believe the Canada card, the UFC Fight Night Edmonton card, had 13 fights. So it had a few that were canceled, and it ended up taking a lot longer to finish. Like, Skatesman told me that was like one of the longest fight cards in UFC history, which is fucking crazy. So I don't know. Maybe it's going to stall, but I hope not. I'm always rooting for Ricky Tercios, so I'm going to be happy with the co-main event. Fuck Sopaj. I'm rooting for Carlos Prates to smoke Neil Magny like a cigarette. No, I love my cigarettes, my man. Can somebody give me a lighter, please? I need a lighter, my brother. Fight nerds forever, man. I want him to destroy Magny, so that's going to be fun. Honestly, not really that deserving of a main event, but if it makes Prates a star, I'll take it. And then, honestly, guys, I am pissed off that GM3 is getting just fed to Renier de Ritter. I know I should be giving GM3 a chance since he destroyed Edmund Shabazian and came back against him. Yeah, but this guy's a monster, dude. He gets big finishes, man. He's scary. Like, I honestly think that he's going to kill GM3. And I just don't like that matchup for him because GM3's calling out Paul Craig, Let's Dance, dude. I'm gone 2-fight win streak or somebody outside the rankings. You don't have to give him a guy in the rankings, but he's in his fucking 30s. Don't give him a monster to fucking eat him up. Like, at least that's my opinion. Skatesman giving GM3 more of a chance, but I just think the whole matchup itself is stupid. I think it's punishing GM3 for still being in the UFC, which is not how I like to book. I'd rather give Robbie Lawler a great retirement fight against Nico Price. You know, that's what I do for all my bets. I'd give them fun matchups that keep the old spotlight of them alive. And I think the treatment of Jim Miller was great for like his last couple fights. Gave him who was it? Gabriel Benitez, and then some other kid afterwards. He got a big finish on him. Oh yeah, he got cut recently. The guy that Jim Miller finished recently. His name's on the tip of my tongue. He was also a lightweight. Jesse Butler got cut recently. Gave him a few, good cans to destroy, and then finally he asked for an actual contender, and he got his ass kicked. But it was because Jim Miller wanted to fight a contender, and he earned himself a contender too. So just treat these vets the right way, man. It's just fucking sad. And then Jillian Robertson is going to be fighting, and that's nice because cameraman's definitely going to have his work cut out for him. Let's just say that. And I like it. Don't like it when they walk toward me, but I love it when they look away. Let's just say that. That's going to be fun. And Mansour Abdul Malik taking on some random dude from Serbia, right? Yeah, some random Serb named Dusko Todorovic. Rooting for Mansour big time. Karolina Kovacevic against Denise Gomez. That's a pretty good matchup. Kurtavius Romulus fucking sucks. I don't like him. Rooting for Zaleski big time against Zach Scroggin, although might end up picking the guy who's debuting on short notice because they've been on a hot streak as of late. The fight to watch, guys, the real fight to watch of the entire card, Alizu Zaleski dos Santos, Charles Radke against Matthew Semmelsberger. That's the one to watch, dude, between Radke and Semmelsberger. That's going to be fucking action as long as it lasts. And you know that Semi the Jedi is going to get some random ass knockdown at some point and still not be able to finish Radke. And then Radke might knock him out towards the end. It's going to be a stand-up war either way. And Radke's going to say it again, brother. Cody Stamann against Damon Blackshear. Dude, the start of this card is way better than the end of it. So I'd watch the prelims, guys. I'd watch the whole card too, but be excited for the prelims. Feel like joining me and recapping Tyson versus Paul? Sure. Yeah, I absolutely could do that. When is that? Is that coming up soon? Let me know. What's the fight date for that? I'll actually check that. Hold on. I need some water. November 15th. Oh, that's coming up. Yeah, sure, dude. Absolutely. Hey, Antoine. Hope you're doing well. What's up, girl? I hope you're having a good night. Hey, girl. What you doing with that comment in your hand? You think Renier can go far at 34? And see, that's where things get tricky in picking that fight. I think primes are different now. I think so. 40 is the new 30. So if Glover Teixeira can do it, anybody can do it. Totally, guys. No, it depends. Skatesman and I actually had a great conversation about this. Middleweight and above is sort of the limit for whether someone who's old can actually find success and become champions in MMA. And then middleweight and below, that's where things get tough because they're smaller, they're stockier. You're supposed to have more agility and speed and power, and like that's a young man's game. So middleweight and above, GM3 absolutely has a chance, and Renier has a chance as well. But below middleweight, that's where we have problems. How do you feel about Tresean? I actually like Tresean. He was a fun part of the Ultimate Fighter. He added a personality, which is needed desperately when you're part of the Ultimate Fighter. He had that sick finish against Josh Fremd. That was fucking awesome. That's one of the best guillotines I've ever seen. Like nasty ass guillotine. It's definitely. Then he gets knocked out by Cody Brundage, and I heard from the MMA fortune teller that he was actually really sick and injured going into that fight. So he wasn't at his best when Brundage knocked him out. Had a good fight with Brian Battle. I actually think he's solid, dude. I think he's a solid guy. I think he definitely wins against Tricoli because Tricoli, he's slow as hell and he just doesn't know how to actually fight during a fight. So if Sharp Bullet can knock you out in round 3 after both of you are fucking exhausted and trying to take him out and failing and take him down and failing at everything, like I think that Tricoli fucking sucks. So I think Tresean's gonna whoop him. I don't know if he's going to finish him, but yeah, I think Tresean's fun. I'm looking forward to the Karolina Kowalkiewicz fight. I've always enjoyed her fights. Yeah. Let me just look at how she's had her fights recently. Because I think her and it was the lady who just fought. Jazzy Jade, Jasmine Jasuda Vicious. Yeah, she's winning a lot of decisions, but she's got good is she a stand-up striker more or less, or does she do a lot of grappling? Because I was gonna say that Jasmine Jasuda Vicious and Karolina Kowalkiewicz are, it's the J and the K. They sort of seem like one and the same fighter. It's November 15th. Let's do it. Sounds good to me, Pulse Reloaded. I'll make sure to attend the post show. Like how far can Bilal go at 36 holding the welterweight title? Not far. I don't think he can go that far. I think it's honestly good for Shavkat that he's having this fight with likely Kamaru Usman, and I'll get to that piece of MMA news later. Because I think Bilal, he had a horrible fight against Gilbert Burns. Like, he looked great against Leon Edwards, but I honestly think he's mid. Leon Edwards almost submitted Bilal at one point, beat the shit out of him on bottom at the end of the 5th. Like, just think that Shavkat's going to catch him. I think he's going to get destroyed by Shavkat. Like, I think there is a chance that Bilal can win for sure. He's definitely in his prime. But as time goes on, I think he's going to get caught in some submissions from Shavkat. So I think he's going to have a very short title reign. Here's hoping, fingers crossed. But to be fair, Bilal Muhammad does talk a big game. And he was going to face Shavkat at UFC 309. Yeah. No. Yes. No, 310. UFC 310. But, Bilal can never catch a break. He can never have a moment where fans actually think he's cool. Like, something has to go wrong to take away all the hype of Bilal. And yet another injury is definitely going to do that. So, yeah, Bilal can't catch a break. Stand up. Stand up and do what? Maybe 1 to 2 years, if that, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Oh, stand up as in Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Okay, nice. Yeah, she's fun. She definitely makes it a scrap. Also, did you give your thoughts on Gary versus Buckley? I have not yet. Seems to me like MVP made it a very close contest with Ian Gary. Pretty close. Like, Gary was able to shoot the takedowns and get them or lean against him against the cage and really try to win, whereas like Buckley has the takedown threat himself. He's had people try to take him down and fail. Like honestly, I think he's probably the better grappler of the two of them. Between him and Gary, I think Buckley's got to build where he's going to get that double leg on Ian Gary. And I just think his stand-up is pretty fucking scary. Like Gary, I haven't seen a good stand-up effort from him on the feet since Neil Magny, and Neil Magny's fucking cooked, dude. So washed, I guess you could say. I honestly, God, and it hurts. It hurts to pick somebody against Gary every single time because Gary always proves him wrong. But I think that Buckley's solid, dude. I think Buckley's really solid. I think he's in his peak right now. I think he could beat Gary. I think he could. He's just got the power that could fucking smash that fucking pea head of his. I just think so. Depends on how active he is. Yeah. Well, obviously he's not very active right now. Man, and again, I think that gives Shavkat an advantage because he'll fight recently against Usman. He'll be in prime fight shape. Man, that UFC Macau card is at 3 a.m. for me on the East Coast. It'll be pretty cool waking up in the middle of the night. You like that? Is that a good thing? I know you have to wake up. I know you have to stay up fucking late for these streams, and I'm sorry that you have to every single time. But I've dealt with it before. Except I'm probably not going to go to sleep and wake up at 3 a.m. I'm probably going to stay up till 3. Honestly, you're right, Antoine Willis. I might have to go to sleep early. You're right. Macau card's really fucking good. If only they had Zhang Wei Li on it, but... Where you at, Zhang? Where you at, Zhang? Zhang Wei Li's my favorite fucking fighter, dude, and she's not here. It's pissing me off. I just tucked in Idaho. Attaboy, Degenerate Dane. You know, for a degenerate, you have a good sense of honor. He made sure that Idaho Skatesman got his beauty rest and put the blanket over him. And then Idaho Skatesman was like, Dane, can you tell me a bedtime story? And I was like, okay, Skatesman, but just one. Once there was a bearded little man named Keemstar. He looked a lot like the Idaho Skatesman. He was a construction worker. And one night, he decided to bet all his free money away. And the Idaho Skatesman was very, very sad. And so in response to him losing all his free money, Degenerate Dane slowly lifted the pillow above Idaho Skatesman's face. I don't like this story. And you killed him. You killed him, Degenerate Dane. You killed Idaho Skatesman. You tucked him in, sure. You took care of him, right? No, you're good, man. I love the late night MMA, man. I'm glad. Good to know that I'm surpassing Dougie's Corner. Eventually, I'm going to destroy Dougie's Corner. I tell you that. I'm taking over the 11 o'clock time slot. Do you have Yan or Figueiredo? Good question. I might have Davison. It's 5 rounds, right? 5 rounds. Come on. That's Yan's wheelhouse. Davison could beat the shit out of Peter Yan for 2 rounds, and Yan's going to come right back, dude. He's just used to playing the long game. Fucking Joshua Van and Peter Yan, they don't know what a first round is. They keep fucking going, and they just get better and better as the fight goes on. Davison Figueiredo, he has had a scrap or two with Brandon Moreno, but that was at flyweight when they were at equal weight. Like, this is bantamweight, and I think that Jan's going to sort of have a weight advantage. And I think he's going to be really used to bantamweight. I don't know if he drops Figueiredo, but I think there are moments where he beats the shit out of Figgy. Like, that's just sort of a tough matchup for Figueiredo. I think Jan, maybe Figueiredo gets his takedowns too, but like Merab's the only one who gave Yan troubles with the grappling. Aljo, did Aljo in the first fight? Yan beat the shit out of Aljo and stuffed everything he had. Figgy, I think he's going to be smaller for bantamweight, and I think that Peter Yan's going to evade a lot of his takedowns. I think there could be moments where Yan gets the takedown personally, and I have Yan beating him by decision. So we'll see what happens, though. I'll listen to some other MMA predictors and see if my opinion is that distance from theirs. Because here's the thing, Antoine. I have my ideas for sure, but week before a fight, I take in information from everybody. Try to have like a general conclusion I make from different sources. I'm a history major, so I go to primary and secondary sources to get all my information. And so like I don't just stick to Hank the Tank's predictions. I have my predictions, yes, going into fights, but I also take other people's predictions and try to mix and match it to make sure that it's good. So at the end of the day, Hank the Tank's pick is based on a lot of people's opinions, and I just try to make sure that the correct one is said at the end of the day. So let's get to Hank the Tank's next bit of MMA news, and keep on commenting, guys. I love answering your comments. Dana White. Here we go. Here's where things get a little risque, depending on your beliefs. Dana White came on stage during Donald Trump's victory speech last night in the 2024 presidential election and said that he and his family are just the most wonderful people in the world. Sure they are, Dana. Keep telling yourself that. And then claimed that the machine, also known as our system of federal courts that we've had for centuries, couldn't stop him, and that it's been karma for them since 2016. Boy, has it ever been karma, just not for them, but for us. Anyway, he then gave a special shout out to the Nelk boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn. Man, why'd you put Theo Vaughn in with that group of fucking degenerates? Special thank you to Theo Vaughn, Aiden Ross, Nelk boys. Theo Vaughn don't fit in there. Busting with the boys. Busting with the boys. Is that an actual fucking podcast? Jesus Christ. Our society's fucking dying, dude. And then he said the all-powerful Joe Rogan. He had that interview with Trump, which honestly could have changed the forecast of the election. But anyway, something tells me that Dana White might have had more than a little to do with all the interviews those guys had with Trump. If he's shouting all those guys out simultaneously, it's either that he remembers those guys promoting Trump or had an active part in helping them promote Trump. I remember him pushing them to interview the 47th presidential elect on more than one occasion. So his motivations for asking that going into 2024 in his presidential election seemed pretty damn obvious to me. Fuck you, Dana. If that Joe Rogan interview had anything to do with Trump winning, I fully blame you for it happening. You fake muscled, bald, Jones glazing bitch boy Uncle Fester. And that's what I have to say about that. Facts, bro. It's a super crazy fight. Do you think Arman Tsarukyan has a chance in the rematch with Islam? I mean, he had a very close fight with Dustin Poirier. It went into the 5th round. Both on 2 of the judges' scorecards, they were tied going into that fight. And Arman's getting pretty good, dude. Like, it's one of those fights where, like, it's unlikely, but it's one of those underdogs that it would actually be good to sprinkle a little bit on, It's not like, oh, I am sure that the underdog is going to win here. It's like, dude, the right mentality is to favor Islam, sprinkle a little bit on Arman Tsarukyan because he's sort of a tough matchup. He gave him a tough matchup in that first fight. He's got counter grappling for whatever Islam has for him. And on the feet, dude, he has power. Like, he might have as much power as Islam Makhachev does. So, like, he's got the kind of stand-up that could pair well with Islam Sambo style. And I think he definitely has a chance, enough to sprinkle a little bit on the underdog. Did you hear Trump's plan for the 250th anniversary of America? I have not heard it yet, Cheddarhead. This is specifically, I guess, the politics section, but I'm going to be getting into other news stories later. So you might as well tell me, I guess. What's up, Chad? What's up, Hank? It's good to have Paradox Chad and Cheddarhead in here. Hey, girl, yeah, she's biting her nails. Do you think Kamala would have done better if she accepted the Rogan podcast? Did she not accept it? Did that fall through because Kamala rejected it? Because I didn't I saw some news stories that it didn't work out, but I didn't know that it was her side that rejected it. Also, now that Max is moving up in weight, who should be his first fight at lightweight? The Dustin trilogy? Yeah, I've had some people mention him fighting Paddy Pimblett. Honestly, that fight doesn't really. I don't think that's a fun fight. At least it doesn't stick out to me as one that's great to make. It is one that's sort of easy to make, given that Paddy Pimblett doesn't have a fight right now. So there's not going to be any. He's sort of a prospect, so there's not going to be a lot of politics about it, you know. But so that's a likely matchup. Him and Oliveira would also be great. That's a dream fight, you know. If Oliveira wins against Michael Chandler, wouldn't that be the fight to make? Don't you see Oliveira and Holloway being on a pay-per-view, you know? Dustin Poirier, I guess you could have the trilogy, but I don't know, something about it. Like, I just don't want to see Dustin Poirier beat Holloway's ass. Like, I feel like Oliveira and Holloway would have a really close fight. That would be a back and forth fight. So that's the fight I'd want to see. Could be Max and Dan Hooker as well as an easy introduction to the reintroduction to the lightweight division for Max. There's just so many fights that are pretty fun for Max. Like I would have it be a dream fight. I don't think I'd have Paddy Pimblett in there. I'd have it be between not number one. Armin's going to be up there. Number 2 and number 6. All of those matchups I like for Max Holloway. How many Bigfoot they got in Cali? Oh, God. Oh, there we go. Yes, there's the Bigfoot. Yes, sir. Just one. I saw it on a photograph at one point. It was creepy stuff. You were talking about Oliveira earlier. Yes, I was. He will be fighting Michael Chandler. The rumor is sort of dispelled, and I'm happy for that, honestly, because I want to see Oliveira fucking come back in style and beat the shit out of Michael Chandler for him being such a fucking creep regarding why he adopted, and then being so obsessed with, pulling himself by the bootstraps and going ahead and always being, attached to the Conor McGregor fight no matter what, and just pushing forward, and then blew up in his fucking face. So honestly, Chandler deserves some karma for waiting that long for a piece of shit like McGregor. So I hope Oliveira fucking sleeps him. Never mind, you just said it. Yes. Hooker versus Fiziev. Ooh, fun. I like that matchup. Him and Gaethje would be good too. What's up? How's it going, Rob's neighbor? Was so bummed Derek Lewis got canceled. Yeah. And that's another thing that was sort of weird. I was going to say that there have been a lot of cancellations recently of fights that have been so for undisclosed reasons, no injuries, no public, post about it, nothing from the fighters, nothing from the UFC. I'm telling you, Derek Lewis could have been rebooked for another pay-per-view in the future. If you're not talking about any sort of injury, like, what are we talking about here? Why is he being canceled for no reason? Why hasn't the reason been disclosed? I swear there are a few of these guys who are showing up on Apex Fight Night cards, small cards, and the UFC's pulling them out for bigger events because something fell through, or an agreement wasn't come to. So now all of a sudden they need this upcoming fighter to take their place. Holloway versus O'Malley. O'Malley could move up, but it seems like he was really adamant about that rematch with Merab, much like Volk's adamant about that rematch with Topuria. So it's just one of those matchups where what the UFC wants, the UFC gets. Why is Paddy versus Moicano not happening? Why hasn't it already been booked? I just want to see good fights. Don't care about the rankings in the future because we're in the end times on some Kali Yuga shit. Honestly, Sniff, you could be right. Well, yeah, we're in some end times in some ways and not in others, but there's definitely some things to be concerned about in the future. But the point is, guys, no matter whose side you're on or what you're scared about in the future or what issue, you got to fucking fight for what you believe in either way and keep on fucking moving forward until the bitter fucking end, because then you'll never have any regrets. Yeah, I want to see good fights too. Creep for adopting. Well, is that what you said? Well, here's the thing. There was an interview from Michael Chandler. You can look it up. It's on Twitter. And he responded as to why he adopted, that it's for a societal purpose. It's to prove that, oh, because of your background or because of this or that, it doesn't mean that you can't have a successful life. And so my kids are, a symbol of that. And my kids are here to prove a point about society, and whether or not you can make it. And so that's why we chose to adopt, so that we could prove a point, a philosophical point. It was like, I just find that creepy. I'm sorry. I just find that creepy. You could just say, oh, we were there to give them a better life. Oh, we weren't able to have kids of our own, or we just stumbled into an orphanage and there's this kid who just seemed so nice and we just had to adopt. And any sort of reason that's just like, oh, it happened, but instead it's like, we did it to prove a point for our own political beliefs that we adopted them. Yes. And I just, I don't like it. I don't like it. Also with KOs over Max and Alexander. Now, if they're giving those kids Happen and I don't know what his brother's name, they're giving them a happy life, great. I'm happy for them. I'm glad they're a happy family. They seem to be a happy family. But the motivations behind it, and like specifically one of them, like coming from the black mother, like right out of the gate, make sure, like, there's just some weird stuff to that, in my opinion. Also with KOs over Max and Alexander is Ilya, an all-time great at 27. He's on the list. Like, he's definitely like top 25, top 30. He's in there. Needs to get a few more wins. If he beats a Dagestani, Antoine Willis, if he beats Islam, if he beats Evloev, if he has a fight with Umar Nurmagomedov and beats him, GOAT status. GOAT. Like, right up there, top 10. So, I need to see him beat a Dagestani. When he does that, GOAT. Derek Lewis got arrested. Not surprised. Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Derek Lewis arrested? He's been arrested before. Yeah, it has happened. He's gone over the speed limit, so it actually makes a lot of sense. Derek Lewis tends to wait. Days before scheduled fight night main event. Wait, no. That was last year. Very close. November 1st. Dude, it actually makes a lot of sense. Dude, that timeline actually matches up. That he'd be arrested at the exact same time. Could have happened. Honestly, could have happened. It's undisclosed. Think Stephen Thompson fights again. If so, who? He lives 15 minutes from me. Wow, that's awesome, dude. That's an honor to have Stephen Thompson hanging out. He's one of the nicest. He's the nicest motherfucker, dude. It'd be amazing to be friends with him. So who? He lives 15 minutes from me, and his gym is right up the street. Wow. Love watching him fight when it's against a striker. Exactly, dude. He needs to have some matchups with some fucking strikers. Kevin Holland fight was sick. Yeah. Although I will say that Wonder Boy got very lucky that he had that agreement with Kevin Holland to have no takedowns. That was next level 4D chess shit. Dude, that allowed Stephen Wonderboy to win that fight. Dude, he was winning against Joaquin Buckley. And I'll fucking stand there and say it. It was tied 1 apiece going into that third round. If Stephen Wonderboy Thompson had kept countering Buckley and kept dodging him, dude, he would have beaten him by decision. But he got that huge fucking left hand. Yeah, and that's what put him out. That's a shame. I think here's my plan for Wonderboy Thompson. Have him fight a welterweight that's really down the rankings, that never fucking shoots takedowns, only a striker. Give him the fucking Robbie Lawler, Nico Price treatment. Have him retire from the UFC, leave the UFC off a W, have him go to Karate Combat and be a champion in Karate Combat. Dude, he is destined for greatness in Karate Combat. Have him go there and be a champion like Sam fucking Alvey. Then all the stock will be back up for Wonder Boy. Still very weird. Yes, it is. One day after the election, Trump announced his plans for America's 250th anniversary was the most badass thing he could have announced. I asked you what his plans were. You didn't tell me. So fucking cool, Mr. Jigaballs. Have you ever met him? If you do, relay what I said, dude. Tell him to get an easy fucking matchup. And if it's a contender who wants to go up the rankings, have it be an old fuck. Like, Randy Brown, or Maybe Renat. Dude, Wonderboy could kill Renat. Is it just some, actually, no, not Renat, but, some welterweight contender outside the rankings. I'm actually going to give you an example because now I'm so focused on this shit. UFC topology. I'm tell Wonderboy to ask for an easy matchup as a last fight in the UFC and then go to fucking Karate Combat. And he will win a title if he goes to Karate Combat. Yeah, that is if that one fucking Mohawk guy doesn't beat him. Let me see. I'm going to go down the rankings. But now, because now he's fucking becoming Michelle Watterson karate hottie of welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Going down the rankings. Neil Magny's still there. Neil Magny, dude. Neil Magny. Easy fucking W. Or Luke K. Dude, could easily, dude, because here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing, you guys. Luke K's going to beat Nick Diaz. He will beat Nick Diaz. Put him against Wonderboy. Wonderboy will kick his fucking ass. Don't have him go against Carlos Prates. So I'd here are the top guys. I'd have him against either Randy Brown, Vicente Luque, easy money. Would highly recommend Vicente Luque. Chaos Williams is there. Meh. Michael Chiesa. No. I got an idea. Muslim Salikov. Have his last fight be against Muslim Salikov, King of Kung Fu. Karate Wonderboy against King of Kung Fu. Easy win, and Wonderboy gets to leave on a W. Then go to Karate Combat. Derek Lewis goes over the speed limit by rolling himself down interstate. Yeah, like a giant fucking snowball. Keeps on growing and growing. But balls was hot. I love Ilya. He plays the villain role very well, and I love a good villain. Well, he's going to become a hero soon if he beats a Dagestani. Especially though, he'll be a new fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin of the UFC. Especially those turtlenecks. Yeah, he's fucking Bond villain. Or he's that evil director from the Truman Show. I wish Wonderboy would do Karate Combat before he retires. Yeah, he was winning and got caught. Yeah. They're just making Derek Lewis look bad on the news. Hey, Donald Trump's told me to take out this Russian USA and this whole... Hey, you know what I'm saying. My balls is hot. My Mr. Jiggle Balls was hot. The way he drops the rose like the bad guy in Daredevil. Yes, sir. Holy shit, I just said Karate Combat. It's on delay, but that's funny. Get him on the phone, Hank, and tell him you're playing right now. Ring him up. Yes, sir. I'll call Wonderboy. He'll probably respond, too, because he's a nice motherfucker. I'll be in a live stream, and I'll give him that recommendation. Met him at a Greek restaurant, but it was like a fanboy conversation. Damn, man. You should have approached him as just a man-to-man. Like, hey, man, I'm such a huge fan. Have a great day. Simpsonville, South Carolina. Simpsonville, stand up. Wonderboy Thompson in the UFC. Jiggle Balls in the UFC. His mama ain't raised no bitch, baby. Wonderboy is the real karate hottie. He is. He's actually a hottie. And he deserves a fucking video package before he retires. Not that fucking fake strawweight who never had a prayer in the UFC, never even came close to a world championship. Why the fuck does she get a video package? And Andrei Arlovsky doesn't. Garbage, dude. Anyone see Nick Diaz hustling cameos? I don't blame him. People pay for a video from him, and he sends a 3-second black screen. Oh, that's great. What an asshole. You gotta love Nick Diaz. Yeah, understandable. Still cool, though, Mr. Jiggleballs. So anyway, I hope that Wonderboy learns from us. I hope that he specifically watches this live stream and has an idea about what to do when he retires, because Hank the Tank is the most knowledgeable guy. The nose knows, guys. The nose knows. All you people here on this dreary Wednesday night in San Fran. It's the Ariel Helwani show. What if they make Shara versus Heavyweight Gay? Jesus Christ. That is on the same level as Hamzat Chimaev and Umar Nurmagomedov in terms of title shots that are not earned whatsoever. Yo, what is up, Larry CTM, Filthy Animal? Welcome to the Filthy Animal house. No way. Fitting for the Nate convo from earlier. Yeah, exactly. They really are assholes, aren't they? Thanks, hey girl. Yeah, it was cool. I regret not asking for a face-off picture. Yeah, that would have been cool. I was able to get a picture at an LFA show of all places with in Santa Cruz with Mike Beltran, fucking Viking guy who looks like Leif Erikson. The fucking beard hair is bald guy, legendary ref. And I had him do the raised hand, hang out. Yeah, we're cool. And I had a great conversation with Mike Beltran. Beltran's fucking awesome. So yeah, whenever you see somebody from the UFC, you got to try to not to get starstruck, and especially if you start a YouTube channel, your beloved star power of others as like an idol goes down quite a bit. Shara versus Paulo Costa, that makes sense, and Costa probably kicks his ass too. Yeah, apparently has been doing that. One guy said he asked for a happy birthday video for his 15-year-old sister and got a black screen. Then another person said the same thing. On behalf as a Californian, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the Diaz brothers. Gambling addiction is a lie made up by casinos to stop you from winning their money. Yeah. No, they'll do anything to squeeze a penny out of you. Ariel told a story about going for a jog and tripping, landing on his nose, but thank God the moneymaker was okay. Well, the nose, it cushioned my fall, guys. It was like a soft cushion, a warm pillow from Tempur-Pedic. Marge Simpson. But the moneymaker helped, and the nose knows. Now you're prepared for it if you meet him again. Good. Larry spit. Yes, sir. Good shit from Larry. Larry David, you four-eyed fuck. Dude, I followed a guy in the airport thinking it was Vanderlei Silva. You have to stop. I can't let you get close. But when he turned around, it was just some random dude. There's a lot of bald Brazilians in the UFC. Almost missed my flight for some random guy. I know I spelt his name. I know how I spelled his name. Vanderlei. Wrong. Good old Paradox the chat is here. Everybody's here. Lamau. Hank, I know picks are tomorrow, but I know I can get one out of you. Who you got for Radical Key versus Smelly Burger, Semi the Jedi? Yes. Yeah, say it again, Radke. Versus Smelly Burger. That's tough. Now, because Charles Radke lost to Protez, right? I believe so. Pretty sure. Just looking at that record. Yeah, knee from Carlos Protez. He's going to be the future of welterweight, so that's understandable. Gilbert Urbina, he destroyed him, but everybody destroys him. Mike Mateta, Heem Forrest, he does well, dude. Like Matthew Semmelsberger, he always knocks his opponent down. It's just whether or not he finishes him. Preston Parsons beat him, dude. Preston Parsons beats you? Come on, man. And I picked Semi against Preston. Preston still... I'm picking Radke. Picking Radke to win that. Definitely picking Radke. He's probably going to knock Semi the Jedi right the fuck out. So, yeah, I'm going with him. Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley. Think that's next? No. UFC is going to want its money, so they're going to treat Sean O'Malley. Again, they're giving it the Izzy treatment where he's not actually a star, but the UFC is going to build up the supercard to make him out to be a star, and they'll have him versus Merab again because O'Malley, the cuck, asked for it. So the UFC, what O'Malley wants, O'Malley gets, despite being a fake star, and they're probably going to book the rematch, so it's a shame. It's a shame to pain, lost your head, careless man who could wind up dead. I think Sandhagen. Honestly, I think O'Malley still beats Sandhagen. I think Sandhagen's gotten mid. He's getting old. Yeah, they'll do the rematch, the fucking bastards. Crinkle cut, waffle cut, straight cut, or curly fry. I love curly fries. Curly fries are delicious, especially with good seasoning. I do like straight cut on occasion. You know, McDonald's. I remember I had McDonald's fries in a fucking airplane, and it was their most delicious fries I'd ever fucking had. But at the same time, I can't resist a curly fry, especially from local joints. Curly fry's the best. Waffle, how is that even a question? That was the Marvin Vittori answer. How's that even a question? Hank, have you ever bitten anyone in a fight? I have. Yeah, because he sniffs. He's like Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo. Let me at him. Let me at him. Let me at him. To be honest, guys, I'll be honest, and may sound like a loser, but I've never had a fight with someone, or at least not to the point where it like got out of control. I've had my roughhousing with kids, but I haven't like had a full blown fight where we're bouncing each other off the concrete. Like I've stayed a pretty civil guy. Most people like me, so I don't tend to start huge arguments with kids. There was one time that a bully did start to hit a nerve, like Dirk Duplessis. Trust. He kept punching me in the shoulder, telling me to hit him back. I never did. Unfortunately, I wish I could have broken his smarmy fucking teeth in. And he started messing with a friend of my friends. I was starting to get pissed with them. And then that friend and I had a plan to fucking gang rush him, basically, and bum rush him, beat him from behind, kick his fucking ass. And I really wanted to do it. The plan was in fucking motion for me to just fucking Pearl Harbor him. But the sense of morality in me gave way, and we didn't beat him up. And instead, he laughed at us. And then the friend's grandmother basically pulled him from the school. So that's one of my great regrets in my life, is that I didn't pick a fight and that I didn't beat that little bitch's ass. Because it literally forced a kid to leave school. So if I'd have known about the consequences of that and like long-term shit, would have done it in a fucking heartbeat. But fortunately, I didn't know it at the time. So it is what it is. But I hope he's doing well, that friend of mine. O'Malley is fighting Marab in March. Isn't that official? I don't think it's official yet. We haven't seen a poster yet, but that's what it's in writing. So, yeah, I wish I could have kicked that smarmy little kid's ass. He ended up, being a nice guy kid in high school. Oh, cheeky grin. Hey, I'm so nice. Look at me wear my little frat boy polo. I'm such a good kid. And then once we had a class together, and he put his hand on my shoulder, like, he's fucking wanted to dominate me, and was just like, hey, could you settle down a little bit? We're in class. And like, I was literally looking around like, you see this shit? He's still same old fucking kid. And yeah, that kid's a fucking monster, but his parents made him that way. All fries. Based answer from Hey Girl. Arby's curly fries with horsey sauce. Yummy, 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 yummy. Fish hooked a mofo to get out of a headlock in a fight. Nice move. I have a friend, though, another friend, who could literally just take your arm and snap your shoulder out of your socket if he wanted to. So that guy'd probably be my bouncer protection if I ever went somewhere. My dad, tell you this about my dad. My dad's only lost one fight he's ever been in. He went to a lot of music shows when he was younger. He goes to all sorts of fucking parties when he's kid, because he's around the city. Let's just call it the city. And there are a lot of guys who he got pissed off, who either he pissed off or they pissed him off. Usually my dad was in the right as to why, and the guy who was fighting was a fucking tool or a drunk idiot. And they'd go back and forth. My dad always won the fucking exchange, except this one guy who was big as a fucking brick shithouse. And he basically got the jump on my dad when he wasn't looking, and he beat him. So one time that my dad got beat, but every other time he kicked the other guy's ass. It's the best way to be. Eye gouging and headbutts are my preferred martial art. Yes. That's how you become the GOAT, like Jon Jones. Western, you look like a doity fighter. Yeah, he looks like he's up on the cross. Looks like he's at all sorts of doity work. Oh, he's also a Western Mass climber. The Wichita lineman. Always arrives on time. You look dirty, period, Western. You bet, Sniff. I was told this is a Kamala Cope session. Color me disappointed. Well, it's a shame. We already went past my big story. Who told you that it was a calm Lacope session? Was it no chill? Probably fucking no chill, right? I've just been making fun of fucking Dana. So my dad could whoop your dad 100. How tall is he? Tell me. Because if he's smaller, my dad fucking whoops him. Cheddarhead is based, unless your dad's like a martial artist, in which case that's not fair. Cheddarhead is based. Westy, what's up? What's up? What's up? Rob's always popping in with the good vibes. For sure. Gotta love Rob's neighbor. It's not Rob. It's Rob's neighbor. Cheddar acting like he is the no weight class BJJ champion. Exactly. And he's the super duper heavyweight champion, super deluxe champion in the NOFC too. Westy with the fish hook. 6'0". My dad's the same height. So put him up, dude. My dad's gonna make it an even fight, that's for sure. Don't know who comes the better of that, but my dad will go fucking low. So if your dad isn't looking, my dad's gonna kick your dad in the balls. And then so watch out. My dad's 7'7". Nice. He'll pull a Jon Jones. His name is Manute Bol. Interesting. Anakin, how's it going, Anakin MMA? I know that's a fucking trick right there. My dad's son is 6'6". Wow, Andre the fucking Giant right there. We're only getting taller and taller as life goes on. America, fuck yeah, coming around to save the motherfucking day. Yeah. Want to see Mikey Musumeci get in the UFC? Me too. And have a stand-up war with someone with no jiu-jitsu whatsoever. I want to see a Shemaya versus Burns fight like that, yeah. Set it up, dad versus dad. We'll see. My dad's getting up there in age, okay? All right, anyway, my next bit of MMA news. Let's see it, folks. Musumeci versus Ryan Hall. Yes. That is a dream fight right there. Oh, what did I say? Oh, yeah. So anyway, I basically called out Dana for his little speech because he has no idea how politics work at all. Trump called Dana a piece of work afterwards. For once we agree, annoying orange. On a lighter note, the MMA community started poking fun at Dana's speech on social media, speech for Trump on social media, cutting out his opening words and replacing them with, as an educated adult who knows the fight business, you cannot deny that while Jon Jones is active, he is the greatest fighter in the world. That was a pretty good edit during his speech. If you place me, Jon Jones, Colby Covington, and DJT in a room at the same time, all the mops and the cleaning sprays in the world couldn't wipe that mess up. I wish AI were here so that you could put Jon Jones and DT up there and I could blow them both at the same time. There's no denying that Donald Trump is the greatest president ever. Sorry. No, I'm streaming. Mikey versus Claudio Puelles. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Musumeci beats Jose Aldo. Yes, by leaning up against him on the fence. Same old trick. Actually, Mikey Musumeci gets the submission for sure. Did you see Hassan Abi lose his mind when Dana shouted out Aiden Ross? I don't blame him. Aiden Ross is a fucking idiot who doesn't know 3/4 of the English vocabulary. So, I mean, you could say a word with 5 syllables, you'd have no idea how to fucking pronounce it. So, just like Tito Ortiz, that guy can't even put a sentence together. He's got his grapes, sour grapes with the violin. You got to have a small violin for those grapes. But yeah, Dana shouting out Aiden Ross, piece of fucking shit. I hate Aiden Ross. That guy is fucking inbred moron. What is Musumeci, and he's obviously homeschooled. What if Musumeci bought his way through college. What if Musumeci drank evil potion and became like Rosemar Paul Harris by not letting go of submissions and then has crazy ass promos afterwards? Guy's gonna be a star. Cool breeze makes me feel fine going through times of my life. Good to see you, Cool Breeze. Mom, I'm streaming. Mom, Phineas and Ferb are making a title sequence. Those streamers he shouted out, he helped coordinate Trump interviews. Exactly, Cheddarhead. Yes. Helped him get a bunch of votes from the younger crowd. Yep. There, that's the plan. And I said it on Hank's Think Tank. He made sure that those specific YouTubers got the Trump interview. It's all the fucking political electioneering, guys. Joe Rogan, too. It's all part of his fucking plan. And that's why, and everybody was like, oh, Hank the Tank, what are you talking about? When Trump's in the front row of the UFC events, there's no political stuff here. There's no political use for this. No way. Always is, always has been used for political purposes whenever he shows up for a UFC show. So you're damn, and every time he was on, Theo Vaughn, or he was with the Nelk Boys or Aiden Ross. Oh, you need to interview Trump. You need to interview Trump. Come on. Why don't you interview Trump? Come on. Political use. 100% cheddar. Exactly. And I don't consider that a good thing. I think it's fucking, I wouldn't call it corruption, but I would say that it's definitely trying to decide the outcome through culture. Call out Wheelchair Juru for a BKFC fight. Yeah. I call you out, Wheelchair Juru, for a BKFC fight. Oscar Willis, whatever the hell his name is, we're gonna do the same damn thing. So just meet me in my backyard garden here in the West Coast, and we'll have it out. So there you go. Home decided to bring celebs to twerk instead. No wonder she lost. Yeah, they didn't even sing, man. Yeah, but can you blame Dana? Trump has been his homie for 30 years. It is true. He did get the UFC off the ground. You do the same. You're a good friend. Yes, I would. I don't know if I would. Like, it depends on what I've learned, like, politically. Like, if I'm fully involved, like, I'd be a volunteer for somebody's campaign, And like, if I don't know about politics, like, even if that is what I would do, it's not something I should do. If you know what I'm saying, Cheddarhead. Like, if you don't know shit about politics, and literally the only thing you have to say about somebody's chances of running for office is, oh, he's strong. Oh, we need a strong candidate. Strong. And you can't say a single policy or thing that's up on the ballot. Like, you're the same as fucking Elon and all these guys who don't care about the politics, don't care about the policies. It's all about, my rich friend is going to make sure that I pay less taxes. Whippy! I have rich friends. All about friends. How many of us have them? Let's be friends. And I don't want to put fucking personal shit into political shit. That's just what I think. So it's what I probably would do if I would it was in Dana's shoes. But as a person, like as me, I would not. More like cheddar sped, am I right? Good one, Six Soul. Congrats to George Floyd for 4 years of sobriety. Yeah, he doesn't have to think about substances at all. Come on, man. Kamala's a puppet of the deep state, just like Joe. We needed this change. Trump's a puppet of the deep state, too. Congratulations, he fooled you. He lowered taxes for the rich. Appointed a corrupt Supreme Court, including convicted rapists. I wouldn't exactly call that beneficial for the system. Loves Clarence Thomas. Good friend of his. And Mike Pence, I mean, was he anti-establishment? Come on. Also, he allowed Putin to do what he wanted, so that's a whole other system up in Russia. Who broke Six Soul out of jail? Yeah, how the hell did you show up? Good to see you, Six Soul, by the way. What's the topic today? It's a bunch of topics, but I can go through them all with you, Cheddarhead. If he was a big change to the system, why didn't he do it in 2016? That is my question. Seems a lot more things change, the more they stay the same. Although it'll be different for sure. I don't know what's gonna fucking happen. So basically, Song Yadong got pissed at Sean Strickland for his comments about Chinese people in his interviews with Helen Yi. He fucking hates China and its people. He said it proudly in interviews. And then Nina Drama was at the shooting range with Sean Strickland and blew up targets, much like her beef with MMA Guru blew up in her face. DDP made memes about him. And then Nate Diaz is play fighting with a fan because he's a 11-year-old in a 40-year-old's body. And he can't fucking grow up. He just has to start shit and get physical with fans. Brendan Schaub whoops him. And then Conor McGregor is in court for SA of a 35-year-old woman. And jury has been appointed, and McGregor is going to court very soon. So Conor's never going to fight again. There have been a lot of fight cancellations for the UFC, and I have a theory that some of them don't have to do with just injuries or valid reasons of pulling out. If reasons aren't given, I have to have my suspicions. I think some of these big fighters are getting taken off B-League fight night cards and getting placed onto bigger cards and pay-per-views. But also all the rumors involving Charles Oliveira not being injured going into the fight with Michael Chandler was all hoax. Dana White, and then we got to Dana White glazing. And then also there was a funny meme where somebody replaced his opening words with Jon Jones. I love Jon Jones. Nate Diaz is literally a single-celled organism. Bro needs serious help soon. He's never going to get it. He's already got CTE. His brother Nick have CTE. They were doomed from birth, but they're lucky enough that they have some money from fighting at least. What do you think of all of Conor's grape charges? Piling up, aren't they? I mean, it's an easy target for sure for women because he likes to get around, but like, come on, has he not done it once? You get like multiple on a boat. I will do it on a boat. I will do it in a moat. I will do it in a hotel. I will do it, Sam I am. You know, he does it everywhere. I will do it in a club. Make sure D gives me the rub. I do not like green eggs and grape. I do not like grape, eggs, and ham. I do not like grape, Sam I am. Where is the trial? United States or Ireland or elsewhere? Good question. It's in Dublin, Ireland. So I'm sure that's not going to affect the outcome whatsoever. At least they weren't children, sick soul. I'd rather be in Conor's shoes than yours. Jesus Christ. Broke Conor is what we need, so he actually fights. That is true. Lady needs to take him sue him for all she can get. Alex Pereira was able to still fight with a broken toe. Conor McGregor's a fucking wussy for cutting out of his fight with Chandler with a broken toe when he's been waiting for him for years. Now he finally gets the chance that he breaks his toe. I don't want to fight anymore, bitch. Cheddar had to let it go. I don't hide from anyone because I have nothing to hide. Jesus Christ. Well, people of that political faction tend to accuse the other side of a lot of allegations involving kids. So very interesting. But I won't comment on it. But guys, please try to keep it cordial in the chat. We're just here to talk about MMA news. No wonder he ran for president. Yeah. You know, it's a pattern. You run for president to escape the convictions, right? Yeah. And the same thing in the Ireland as it is in the U.S. Sorry, Hank, it's on video. It's hard to forget what you see. Interesting. Well, I don't have that many interactions with Six Soul. It's like South Park with the stem cell research and Christopher Reeves. I'm gonna leave myself out of this one. Yep, I'm gonna make my exit. I'm gonna get out of this one. Netflix has a new MMA show called The Cage. How has it been so far? Let me know. Zion Clark fights in the UFC. I want to see his opponent point to the ground, Holloway style. Nice. My kid is in Zion. George St. Pierre is in it. Nice. That's cool. What do you think of Ilya Abduro Topturo? You mean Ilya Topuria? Isn't that how MMA Guru pronounces it? Ilya Topuria. And fucking Idaho Skatesman, my partner, was telling me, dude, it is obviously not Ilya Topuria. It's Ilya Topuria. And I got embarrassed in real time. So now you're ruining my pronunciation of it again and again. Ilya Abduro Topturo. Yeah. Abtop. Wait. Illy Abtop. Oh God, I'm not getting it. But I think he is living up to everything, living up to the hype over and over again. Volkanovski, I will say that he was knocked out by Makhachev, so could have had something to do with it, a little bit to do it. I'm just saying. He was took only a few months off going into that fight, but he was able to chin Holloway. He's able to chin Holloway. He has the power to knock Max out. Makes perfect sense. So he's the man. He's the man at featherweight, and I'll say that. And when he starts knocking out Dagestanis, then I'm going to really start to like him. But until then, he knocked out two of my fan favorites, which isn't great. He isn't exactly the most humble guy in the world. Now that he's directing his anger towards the Dagestanis, starting to have my support a little bit. But he was just saying, "Oh, I destroy everybody at the lightweight, kill everybody, I'm the champ." Doing the Khamzat Chimaev Wolf, I kill everybody kind of shit, which is just stupid from a tweet. I just think he's a little bit of an asshole. I'm sorry, sue me. I think he's a little bit of an asshole. Now, he showed a humble side after he knocked out Max Holloway. He admitted that he was a fan of Max Holloway. His English is starting to improve. He's a great supervillain, great heel character, so that's great to get behind. He's going to draw some money. I like that. I watch the UFC every single show, so company's financial status, I want it to be good, so it's nice to have a star in Ilya Topuria, especially if he beats his undefeated Dagestani. But at the same time, I just think he's a little bit of a douchebag and very emotionally erratic. So just things about him that I don't like, period. But he is the greatest featherweight in the world right now. Is he featherweight GOAT? I don't think so, not yet. I think he needs one or two more wins and he'll get there. Ilya is awesome as a fighter for sure. As a person, love the hate he channels from the NPCs. Yeah. I guess I could call myself an NPC, but there's things about him that are just a little emotional. He just doesn't have the McGregor energy where he can get away from it, Get away with it. You can't keep getting away with this! Topuria comes from money, and he might be a Spanish vampire. Yep. That's another reason not to really like him, is that he's privileged. So he's not, it came from nothing, So there's just things about him that aren't likable, but he is fun as a fighter. Ilya has the smarmiest face I've ever seen. That alone makes him a good heel. Yes, for sure. I'm gonna chin you, Mac, and when we find out, I'm gonna throw you. I'm gonna show you. And I'm the best. Yeah, that shit. Who is Nate the Train fighting? He is fighting the Korean Superboy Do Ho Choi, the UFC 310. Nate the Train is back, baby. Mama ain't raised no bitch. Where my wife at? You asking all the wrong questions, Western Mass Climber. Where my wife at? He's got a highlight reel like Evil Knievel. He's got a swagger like Elvis Presley, and he'll be damned if he ain't handsome. Hey, chat, take a look at this bicep. Hank the Tank in the NOFC. Yeah, he's fighting Korean Superboy Do Ho Choi. Let's fucking go, dude. And I think he wins that matchup too, so let's fucking go. Nick the Train. Destroy Jamal Emmers. You're going to destroy Korean Superboy too. Vampire. Yes. I think Topuria was bred for this, for sure. Yeah, he's perfect as a heel. But if he does beat a Dagestani, he will be a fan favorite. What's the lineup this weekend? So, for the Saturday show, I can tell you. Lol. Is that for the UFC show or for our show. We are going to have Idaho Skatesman and Hank the Tank doing our preview and picks for Protez versus Magny. And then Friday, Skatesman might do some Japanese kickboxing, some Muay Thai, some Thai fighting, Fight League. He always loves to do stuff on Fridays sometimes and Sundays. Actually, no, he won't, because he's busy with Degenerate Dane getting drunk somewhere. So yeah, he's busy with doing that. But Hank the Tank's going to be filling in for him, doing my fight companion of Magny versus Protez. And then Hank the Tank's post show as well. So I'm going to have some of you, the troopers and grinders, here, hopefully live to have a little chat with me. And then it's anything fucking goes. But in terms of the UFC card, I'll break it down for you. Let me talk to you. Yeah. There we go. Westy, I am posting a video I just did on Vermeer BC 1000. Sick. If you had to pick a round for the inevitable outcome of the main event, which one? Honestly, God, because he just got chinned, right? He just got chinned by Michael Morales, and I think that Protez is scarier than Michael Morales, if you can believe that. I need Radke easily. But then he beat Giles by round 2, Mitch Ramirez by round 2. Like, if we know one thing about Neil Magny, it's that he always stays in it. But then he got finished recently. Like, and that was but that was towards the end of the fight. That was 4 minutes and 39 seconds into round 1. I'd say round 2. Round 2. He usually gets it done by round 2. So I think that makes the most sense if you were to pick one. And then thoughts on the Sewer King? Isn't he a random channel or a random guy? Yeah, he I believe Musical MMA talks about him all the time. Yeah, look at this guy. Ooh, spooky. Sewer King, man. It's gonna come and fucking get you, dude. Or you're Sewer King from fucking Batman the Animated Series. So there you go. Think round 2 smells good. You smell that, yeah? Oh, smells like victory. You do what you're told and down your lube. Smoke it, yeah? Oh, shit. I'm going away. Conor McGregor. I am a sewer rat. He is. A fellow rat here. Yes, sir. Good for him. Great stream, Hank. Catch you on the next one. See you later, hey girl. Great to see you. I'll be around for a little while, guys. Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-cat. Good shit. And Cheddarhead is angry at you. Anyway. Oh, let me break down the card. Neil Magny versus Carlos Protez. I will obviously pick Carlos Protez to win. Tercios versus Sopaj. It's interesting. Round one. God. Knocking out fools. Oliveira had his worst fight and still beat Sopaj. Tercios maybe gets it done. I like to think he gets it done. No, Sopaj is the favorite. He could take down Tercios because Rosas was able to, but I guess I'd lean Sopaj as the favorite there. Meerschaert versus Ritter. I'd probably go with Rainier. Gillian Robertson versus Luana Pinheiro. Probably go with Robertson because she's just absolutely ruthless on top. Nice to watch on top as well. So I'm hoping for that outcome. Mansour Abdul Malik versus Dusko. Let me look at that. Let me look at Dusko's record. 12-4 is horrible. Christian Leroy Duncan, knee injury. Ground and pound. That guy sucks. Lost it. Chitty by knockout. Yeah. Mansour sleeps him. And then Karolina Kovalkiewicz against Denise Gomez. She had a good fight against, what's her face? Eduarda Mora. But she's a takedown artist, whereas Carolina is good in a stand-up. I'd probably pick Carolina. Octavius Romeus against Bolaños. I've just barely got Romeus to win that. You'll hear my picks on Thursday's stream. So, but my picks may change when it comes to Thursday. Zaleski versus Scroggin. Now let me look at Scroggin's record because a lot of guys have been stepping up on short notice and getting wins. 19-14 unanimous decision. 9-17 rear naked choke. Yeah, nah. Zaleski fucking cooks him. Radke versus Semmelsberger. I'm going with Radke most likely. Stamen versus Blackshear. I think Stamen's sort of mid. Yeah, Stamen's mid. Blackshear, he deserves a W at this point. Close fight with Mario Batista. He's going to win against Stamen. Trishon Gore, I have him winning against Tricoli. Then Mullins versus whoever the fuck this is. She was a weight above, but... In the first fight, I have a toss-up, but let's look at the topology. Mullins to win? I guess I'll go with Mullins. I like Sopaj a lot. Interesting. Do you watch his fucking regional highlights or something? What current MMA fighters is most likely to be successful in acting once they hang it up? Volkanovski, Alexander Volkanovski, and Ilya Topuria. Both those guys. Honestly, Colby couldn't he? He could just play an asshole, couldn't he? But then again, he fumbles over his lines. So no, not Colby. He always fucking fumbles. He calls fucking, calls Leon Edwards mumble mouth, but he always fucking fumbles over his words. Alexandre Pantoja has that fucking Pedro Pascal face. He'd be pretty good for it. Mally, obviously not. Can you imagine fucking Gamrot trying to go through a scene? Yeah, I'm going to kill you. Yeah, I'm going to wrestle fuck you, and you got a pretty mouth, boy. Hey, I'm gonna destroy you. Yeah. McGregor is obviously still in it. Costa could be an actor, absolutely. Pereira's the heavy. And then Tom Aspinall as well. Tom Aspinall. He's good at cutting his own promos. And then Charles Oliveira as well for Brazilian movies. Dricus du Plessis as well. Doesn't Dricus sort of look like a movie star? He showed up on The Masked Singer. The dude could sing. So Dricus du Plessis, absolutely. Dominic Cruz, he hasn't. Can you imagine Dominic Cruz in like the role of Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible? I'm here to kill your wife. You have to give me the rabbit's foot, or I'm gonna kill her, dummy. You have to talk to me. You're always traumatized, Ethan Hunt. Why do you go on these spy missions all the time? Afraid to come back home? Afraid to visit mommy and poppy? Scared that they're going to beat your ass like they did back in the day? You got to tell me. You got to talk to me about this. I'm going to kill your wife. I'm going to kill your son. I'm going to kill everyone until I get the rabbit's foot and you and Cody Garbrandt. I'm going to bury you both in a ditch. Yeah, that's right. Run away. Run away, Ethan. Also, I think that financial cult is going to make me a better person. Also, I hate Jose Aldo. Curtis listens to Slayer. Blades? Yeah, Colby always fumbles his shit. Costa could be an actor. Figured it would be one of the women. It's not Thug Rose, that's for sure. I could see Zhong Wei Li actually being in a Chinese film. And then Valentina Shevchenko. Come on, Valentina as a fucking security guard. I could see her having a role. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson was in Cobra Kai. Can you believe that? And then Juliana Pena is the ultimate actor as well. Harrison, Juliana Pena could, because she acts all the time. She pretends and fakes and lies all the time. Drunken Boxing, good evening, sir. But how's it too? What is a weekend, Drunken Boxing? You gotta have a beer, man. Degenerate Dane and Idaho Skatesman are drinking themselves silly. Oh, great to make your acquaintance. Good show. Jolly good show. Drickus strikes me as one of those guys that whatever he does, he's naturally great at it. Exactly. Chose to be good on the mic, was good on the mic. Chose to be a better, more unorthodox striker, he did it. Pushed through Sean Strickland and Izzy, he did it. Great at press conferences, like Dude's a complete package. He should be a star. Hank. Valentina was born a man. Am I wrong? Her Adonis belt is more prominent than most men. Maybe a little more testosterone. I don't know. Different genetic build, I guess. Yeah, they're Brazilian women in MMA, so checks out. There's a reason she's on top. Cowboy Cerrone in a few movies already. Nice. That's good. Anyway, my next bit of MMA news for the troopers and grinders out there. Yet another injury that could potentially compromise an upcoming title fight, folks. Fans have spotted two taped up toes. Two taped up toes, 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 two taped up toes. Nice, 5 times fast. On the left foot of Jon Jones during his sparring footage ahead of his UFC 310 fight with Stipe Miocic. Now, to be fair, he has a taped up toe going into his fight with Cyril Gane as well, and he absolutely obliterated him. But if he can't get Stipe down in the first round, the pressure starts to build up on that left foot of his from nerve damage and a fragilely structured toe. We might see Jones start to slow down and panic a little against Stipe. And then we'll see what transpires, man. Stipe might... I'm pulling a Flucus Glazy here, guys. Hey, Peaches and Creamsville. Hey, Stipe Miocic, old crafty vet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Old man Stipe. Old man Stipe's going to get it done. It's not Peaches and Creamville. I'm not slipping on any banana peels here, okay? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Old man Stipe getting it done. Oh, yeah. He's going to knock out that gay man. UFC's paying my bills. I don't do live fight companions anymore. UFC's paying me to stick around. I'm not slipping on banana peels here. I trained with Magomed Ankalaev, okay? Anyway, I just went on a fucking Lucas Glazy rant. Might see Jones start to slow down and panic a little against Stipe, and we'll see what transpires. Definitely build some intrigue before their fight. Jones doesn't pull out the privileged coward duck, but we have seen his left toe taped up heading into his fights before. We'll see. Jones always tapes up his toes. He's on it for years since he dislocated them. Won't make a difference then. Tape that toe. Hope it doesn't slip. Slip on a hip. Now tape it. Tape it good. When a problem comes around, you must tape it. When Chael Sonnen breaks your toe, you must tape it. Yeah, tape it into shape. When you're taking someone hostage, then tape that mouth and tape it good. It's good, Lucas. Remember when Cejudo was talking about fighting for the intergender belt? What the fuck was that about? He was trying to resurrect Andy Kaufman from the dead and get his soul out of his body, and then he'd be the new Andy Kaufman. He's definitely the plushy gender belt wearer since he kicks around little stuffed animals because he is totally a man. Never been the same since he fought Chael Sonnen, the true GOAT. Exactly. Undefeated and undisputed. Hey, I'm taking over this broadcast and I'm the new Don. So it's best that if you all want to keep your jobs, you kiss the ring. And Jon Jones, if you want to head over to the East Coast, you can have it over here, but I'll give you concrete shoes because you should never piss off a gangster. Have you seen things in Westland, Oregon? And I look at you and you have that little scoff on your face. You don't know what it's been like to be in my shoes, to walk the streets of Westland, Oregon. I saw a guy actually litter right in front of me. And I didn't do anything about it because I was scared. I was scared about it. And my mom and dad couldn't even afford a second Ferrari for me and my sister after we graduated college. Can you believe that? Disgusting. Cruel streets of Westland, Oregon. Stockton, New York, Westland, Oregon. That was the true hellscape. Anyway, next bit of MMA news. And that part is true. And I saw Vanderlei Silva actually try to feed a bus a carrot. Good old Nogueira. Chael had it rough in Westland, Oregon. I know. Dude, if I saw somebody litter, it would fucking traumatize me, dude. I'd be scared I'd get a paper cut. I'd think that the gum wrapper would hit me, I'd start to bleed out a little bit. That's scary. So you can't handle the streets of Westland, Oregon. I am a gangster, and you have to stop. I can't let you get close. Ugh. Shoot the double leg. My God. Absolutely brave. Bravery from JLP Sonnen. Anyway, next bit of MMA news. Here's some more political shit for you troopers and grinders. Grew up rough. Yeah. Only 4 Mercedes in the garage. Only got to play video games and have sex every single day. It's rough. Chill got it from Damoud on King David. Yeah. Damoud. Yeah. Man was training to be a monk under my old math teacher. And he studied the ways of the Hindu and the Marty Krishna. And he became Uncle Chael P. Sonnen. And the truth of the matter, and how we need to see this in the future. Now listen to me. Where does Kevin Lee fit into all this? The big question, the one that everybody has to worry about, where does Kevin Lee fit into all this? And I'm just asking you. I'm just providing you with a question. And don't take it with a pinch of salt. I'm just trying to give you another perspective. This isn't 100% true. Actually, it is true. It is true. What I'm trying to say is I went to a bagel shop. They only had 3 capers on the cream cheese of the bagel. And I asked them, why do you have so few capers? And they said it's because inflation. It's because we couldn't afford it because of price gouging. And so I went to another Noah's Bagels, and my wife, she had 5. She had 5 capers on the bagels. I grew up on the rough streets of Temecula, California. Cook an egg on the sidewalk because it was so hot with violence. That's hot. That is absolutely hot. Sick soul. Anyway, more political nonsense for you. So Trump won. Donald Trump, in case you didn't know. Trump won. MMA fighters are reacting to it. Overwhelmingly positive. The way they were stroking his ego and maybe something else. You'd think that he was Martin Luther King Jr. or Mahatma Gandhi, but I know those two wouldn't shake his hand willingly. Aljamain Sterling even said that Trump was going to bring the country together on all levels. His brain hasn't been the same since that Peter Yan now legal knee, so give him a break. Someone on Twitter responded to Justin Gaethje's tweet, glazing the orange man, saying that, as a martial artist, I find it strange. All fighters seem to back Trump, who is the antithesis of the spirit of a martial artist. Respect, humility, ethical values. It's just interesting. Everyone can vote for who they want. That's their right. I just find it odd and a conflict. This guy should be an intellectual and not a fighter. Preserve that big brain for a podium or a college lecture. That is my advice to this guy. And then meanwhile, Justin Gaethje, in his infinite wisdom, gave a very eloquent counter response of, "You're wrong, my friend." Man, that really pulled the rug out from under him. Obviously coming from the guy who willingly chose to hang out with Ramzan Kadyrov. Good old CTE Gaethje knows a very respectful patriot when he sees one. Anyway, I just want to say shout out to Manuel Martinez at I Bleed Orange 1. I Bleed Orange, and then the number 1. Might be the only MMA fighter with some awareness of the political bubble that Trump diehard Dana White and his employees, as well as the MMA community as a whole, have found themselves in. So there's my little scoop. Never let a lie get in the way of a good story. Exactly. They lied about the amount of capers on that bagel. Did somebody say bagels? They better have had some lox on there. Otherwise, I'm calling my wife. I broke down in tears when I found out Kamala lost. Are you serious? From you? That's surprising, man. As a brother, I know it must be tough that Kamala lost. But you got to push through for your community, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the Brian battle. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? It's interesting. It would be interesting if that was true. Is it true? Or are you yanking my chain? It's all right if you are. But anyway, it's another small story. And then I got one more story for all the troopers and grinders out there, and then I think I'm going to call it a wrap on the show. So, one more story. Finally, we have some rumors and potential announcements for some major fights in the UFC. Shavkat confirming that a short notice interim title fight with Kamaru Usman is in fact in the works for UFC 309 to replace his world title fight with Bilal Muhammad. And hey, Lois, it's Muhammad. Anyway, it's not Muhammad, it's the rap from Sausage Party, but I digress. And Nurmagomedov MMA School has also recently shared a poster of UFC 311 in January showing Islam and Arman's faces. So UFC 311 January, we got Islam and Arman. That fight is happening. And then UFC 309, we are going to have likely Kamaru Usman and Shavkat Rakhmonov. So those are some two pretty big fights, and I'm looking forward to them both. I mean, at this point, guys, I know that Usman, he has his flaws and his faults, no doubt about it. Like, Hank, I typed that last message because I wanted to hear you say it. Oh, you're saying, yeah, I see. The truth is, I didn't. I was busy being a fucking poll worker, so I was just getting in the votes. Like, it was exhausting. I worked like 16 hours yesterday. I got my check. That was nice. But I was just doing my responsibility as a poll worker, and I was just exhausted. I was tired. And then, if anything, it was other people in my life who were crying about it. I was sort of neutral. Like, I've cried more over MMA fights and events than I did with the news regarding the results of the election last night, because in a way I almost saw it coming. So I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. 2016 was shocking. That I couldn't fucking believe because he wasn't a politician. But now, like, the threat is clearly real. So I was like, yep, it's gonna happen. So there you go. I was even in No Chill's chat. I wasn't fucking crying. You know who was crying? It's fucking No Chill. Usman Shavkat more hype than Bilal Shavkat, in my opinion. Why is that? I wouldn't say it's hype just because Usman is coming in on short notice, 2 weeks notice. The fight hasn't even been announced yet. So, and again, like, here's what I wanted to get to. No matter what you think of Kamaru Usman from his past, like with his juicing, it's clear that he juices. His dad's a pharmacist, and that he makes everything about race, despite the fact that he is Marty from Nebraska almost his entire life. You got to give him credit in that he shows up on short notice when the UFC needs him. This is the second time that he's showing up on short notice for a big time fight the last 2 years. And he's willing to step up on 2 weeks notice against the boogeyman of welterweight at this point. So you got to respect Usman. And he got a close fight with fucking Hamzat as well. So I wouldn't put it past Usman to, like, show Shavkat something he's not prepared for. So I still think Shavkat smokes him. But at the same time, you gotta give Usman props for stepping up time and time again. Didn't expect this from him at all, especially with his fucking knees, I cried when Anakin became Darth Vader. I know. I used to really like Anakin MMA, and then he was the best clip channel that SkateTank MMA has ever known. And then he just became Darth Vader MMA and was focused on all the Star Wars shit again. So, that pissed me off. Bilal has no ability to finish. At least Usman has the mildest threat of a straight right. That is true. Definitely put some more hype on the fight than that welterweight bout would. But at the same time, I mean, the fact that it's on short notice, don't you think it's going to pull in less numbers than Bilal versus Shavkat would? It's sort of an interim title fight. It's not exactly a legitimate title fight. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that pulls in more numbers than Bilal in Shavkat, but I don't think it does. Are Usman's knees really that bad? I kind of doubt it. Well, there was a moment where Gaethje took him down before his fight with Hamzat, and then literally Usman was like, "Oh shit, something popped." It popped, and so, like, I don't think it's to the point where it's like, "Oh, he can't even compete anymore because his knees are so bad." But it is to the point where, like, anybody who isn't an idiot knows that you have to kick the legs of Kamaru Usman because that's going to be his weakness. His legs do give out from under him when you kick him. So, and they're not going to, Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman have broken their legs. Usman hasn't done that yet, but it's a clear weakness at this point. Let's just say that. So we'll see. I honestly think that Shavkat subs Usman in round 1. I think Shavkat's honestly on the same level of Hamzat, where it's like he finds that finish eventually. I don't care much about Bilal or Usman either way, two of my least favorite fighters. But between the two, I'll take Usman. I will too. Yeah, for sure. Usman was the welterweight champion against Shavkat. That would be huge. That would be great. But unfortunately, this is sort of like new Usman, you know, getting fucking clowned by Bilal on his own podcast, you know, starting bullshit. I just think his stock's down, you know, just a little bit. So it's not the same as like if this were a year ago and it was a month away. Like that'd be a huge fight, but feels weird now. Like he has to walk on grass because hard top is too hard. Give me a break. Well, no, it's not that, but it's like they're shaky. They are shaky. They're like not exactly the most intact. Peace out, y'all. Good stream tonight. Thank you so much, Rob's neighbor. Specifically the neighbor. It's not Rob. It's not Harvard with the game. Hey, see you soon, boy. Bye, Rob's neighbor. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, I don't think that's gonna be craziest matchup in the world, but I definitely think Usman has a chance in there. It'll be bad for Bilal though, because Shavkat's gonna have another great fight, probably get another finish, and then yeah, it's on to Bilal, dude. Hank, how are your fellow libs handling the situation right now? Very poorly. Most of them are very poorly, and they're playing the blame game and learning all the wrong lessons. And I think I've learned some of the right ones, but unfortunately, everybody's at each other's throats. I'm not. I sort of saw it coming a little bit. So, and it's going to be 4 years away. So I got plenty of time to wait. And I'm going to be, because here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing, you guys. I'm going to be experiencing a lot of things in the same time that people who voted for Trump are. So at the end of the day, we're all humanity. We're all Americans, and we're all just going to deal with the fallout of this, whether we liked it or not. Peace out, Rob's neighbor. Yes, sir. Good old Carrie. You hear that she's going to run again? Looks like another loss. Yeah, that's not smart. I would have had Tim in there instead of Kamala. He's still the most popular candidate out of all 4 of them. So I think they'd be stupid if they didn't have Tim run. And then what else? Fingers crossed that Carlos Prates gets a knockout over Neil Magny so that he doesn't ruin yet another major prospect at welterweight. Then again, the fight nerds have been pretty unstoppable as of late. Am I right? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think that Carlos of all the stars, of all the fight nerds, Gene Silva, Mauricio Rufy, Caio Baralho, and Carlos Prates, which of those 4 fighters has the biggest likelihood of becoming a star in their division? And if they become champion, who draws the most money out of the 4 of them? Baralho, Gene Silva, Prates, or Rufy? Caio Baralho, yeah, because he is very public because he got the sunglasses. He looked like Mr. Moon Man from Mac Tonight. When the clock strikes 6:30, babe, turn to head for golden lines. It's a good time with the great taste. Dinner at McDonald's. It's Mac Tonight. Come on, make it Mac Tonight. Yeah. I think that Caio, he's been on commentary for LFA, so he's a very public figure. I'd check the amount of Instagram followers, guys. Take the guru method. If he's got more, who has the most Instagram? Because that actually translates to, just much like the countdown videos, it translates to marketability. And most fans who are going to fill the butts in the seats and buy the pay-per-views. So who has the most Instagram followers? Probably Baralho. He has a great public presence. Rufy has the it factor. If he can make a run, I could see him making a splash too. Meanwhile, Carlos Prates just wants his Tamoki cigarette. Remember that Big Mac commercial with the moon singing? Yeah, and then he got turned into a neo-Nazi. as part of online server boards and got ruined, turned into a fucking monster. So very interesting stuff. But guys, that's all my fucking MMA news. Oh, that was in the late 80s, early 90s. Do you know about that? Yes. How do you know about that? Because I do my research, dude. I'm a cultural historian. I know all about this shit. I know about New Coke. I know about Mac Tonight. I know about when Pepsi was actually a threat. I know about where's the beef? You know, I know the Yo Quiero Taco Bell. Remember those? I remember the Creepy King when he was first getting introduced. The Apple 1984 commercial. I know about all that shit, man. New Coke was shit. But did you try it at the time? Yeah, Sick Soul has an old soul, more like. All right, guys. I think I got to head out. But it's really nice having you guys stop by the channel. A lot of you showed up, which I absolutely appreciate. What did you major in, if you don't mind? History. Yeah, I'm old. Sorry, the New Coke was shit, man. There's still a few of them left somewhere out there. But until we meet again, troopers and grinders, thank you for hanging out with the Hank the Tank and the Think Tank. Appreciate all the support. Tune in for me and Idaho Skatesman's preview and pick stream for Magny versus Prates. Same time tomorrow. And until we meet again, you have escaped the war zone for now. Hold on. I'm getting a phone call. Artie Lange wants to say hello. Wait, it's my wife, Dixie. And because, the phone's an interesting, because when the phone rings and you don't expect it, it really is an interesting to say, hello. Oh, no. Oh, that's wonderful. Morgan got his driver's license. Let's put a cake in. Let's put a cake and candles in. Put in the shape of a car. Oh, wait, she hung up. We didn't expect him to pass because he's... That's the